You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Wednesday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. Coach Larry Bush's grandson, we call him the Thrifter, Thrift Barringer. Good morning, coming in hot from the ATL.
Yes, sir. Good morning, DJ. How are you?
Really good, really good. And, of course, flying this plane as he has been all week long. Richard Holdridge, how are you? Good morning.
Great to be here, DJ. Man, I can't believe we missed a huge day in sports yesterday. It was Bobby Bonilla Day.
Bobby Bonilla, I tell you what, man, that was the best. That's had to have been the best contract negotiation or the best package, the best deal in the history of sports. This guy has been getting paid $1.7 million for every year for until 2035
till he's like 73 years old. He's going to be getting paid. What a deal.
Yeah, we have much opportunity to definitely check into that. But first and foremost, let's say good morning to everybody out there in Facebook land. We appreciate the fact that you are joining us this morning. We are here to educate, inform, and of course entertain you on the goings on in the world of sports. And I tell you, we don't take it for granted that you allow us to, of course, walk with you this morning in the park. Maybe you're down at Lake Bottom. Maybe you're in your neighborhood. Maybe you are just waking up and just to hear some good old-fashioned sports talk and, of course, to get some great knowledge about the industry. Hey, man, listen, first of all, I want to say this to you out there. We don't take you for granted. We really don't. And, again, we're just blessed to be able to have an opportunity to have a career, to do something that we love, and hopefully you're going or headed in this morning to do something that you love. Of course, taking care of your family is the priority. We want to make sure that we let everybody out there know that we care about you and we're happy to be here. All you folks out there in WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 92.1 land, we love you, but it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Hello, somebody. Guys, let's get this party started. Thrift, you okay, buddy? You got something going on internally there that needs to come out?
Yeah, it's taking a toll on me right now. You know how if you eat something that doesn't sit right with you, it lingers. So I'm pushing through it, DJ.
Well, I didn't bring the airplane bags. You know those bags you have on the on the plane there in case you have to go, man. But we got a can over there, right there. It's close to you, buddy.
Can will be utilized.
I tell you, man. Good morning to everybody out there. Hey, man, this has been a great. We already at Hump Day. Can you believe it? I just pinch myself every day because it's just amazing how things are going. It's the second day of July. And, of course, we are at midweek already, and it's going downhill fast.
Unbelievable, man. It's the fact that we're almost at July 4th already. Summer is just – what summer? It's basically how it's been. But, but we're already halfway through this week. It seems like it was just Monday. We just started, and we're already almost through it.
Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but it is going on. Tell you what, Richard, I know what is going on last night. Shirley B. Winston, man, you guys had an exciting time, but some high school, or at least not high school basketball, but it was grown man basketball.
It was a lot of fun. It was called Night Ballers. It's the Adult Summer Basketball League brought to you by Parks and Rec out of Columbus. And it was quite a crowd of who's who in the seats. But we had 4 teams, and the championship is set for Thursday. I mean, some of the familiar faces like A.J. Watts, who played on that 2019 Carver team. We've had some local coaches in this area, like the Shaw coach, and we had the Brookstone coach, and then Jarrett Adderton, who just got finished up his career at Columbus State. He was playing in the league. It was so much fun, and I can't wait for that championship on Thursday.
So what was who started this league and why, again, how you think it's going to go?
So this was started by Columbus Parks and Recreation, and Curtis Simpson is really overseeing it. And, they're playing at multiple locations. You have the recreation center at Solomon Road and then Shirley B. Winston Park. I don't know if they are at another location, but I mean, it's a league, and then they have a tournament, and they had 4 teams. And there was 2 games. 7:15 was the first game, and they could be getting a little creative with their team names, but it was a lot of fun. And it's something to do in the summer. I mean, Columbus Parks and Recreation does amazing things, especially opening up the pools and activities for not just the kids but for adults. And it got me inspired because earlier that morning I actually was playing a little pickup basketball at the Fort Benning Gymnasium.
All right.
There was open gym. So I took my daughter to the gym, and we were just shooting around. Then I saw a older guy. It was actually, I later found out that was his niece. She was 10 years old, and we looked at each other and like, you want to go 2-on-2? And made the winning shot. We played to 11, got a win by 2. And just like Paul Pierce, I call game.
All right. Boy, you got the handles left and the right. You can go off the left foot, right foot, man. You just ambidextrous out there.
Yeah, and my daughter, who's a little bit taller than the 10-year-old she was facing, I was actually dishing it into her inside, and she made a couple baskets. So got a couple assists on that, and it was exciting.
Speaking of basketball and adult basketball, I tell you what, is this something that the Thrifter needs to come out of retirement to do?
Absolutely.
You think he might need to make a few appearances?
I would love to see Thrift in this league. I think that he could definitely shoot some threes, run the court with these guys. That would be exciting to actually call a game on Georgia Alabama Sports Live and have Thrift playing in it. That'd be amazing.
You know most of those guys, don't you?
Yeah, I used to play in a league like that a few years ago. And I was asked to play in it this year. I just didn't feel like I had the time. And, when I do something like that, I want to be able to – I want to win. I don't go out there just to have fun. I go out there to win. And if I feel like I'm not at my 100% and I feel like I can't contribute the way I want to, I don't know if it's worth it to me. But the league has done a great job and a really awesome job by Curtis Simpson. Good for the city. And there's a lot of former players, coaches now that are playing in it. And it's a who's who. And we even got guys that just graduated from CSU or just graduated from high school playing in it that are in college. It's a very talented league. Very top notch for sure.
Good morning to Gerald Bedgood. He's up and early with us again. He actually beat Stanley Crowell to the agenda today. Of course, we are so proud to have a guy like Gerald Bedgood in our midst, and of course at our side. He's such a big supporter. We appreciate you, Gerald. Big G. All right, the lineup today, we'll have motivational speaker Jarvis El-Amin. Of course, this guy's a powerful speaker. He always has great inspiration and good knowledge of coming across. And he's a friend of mine that I met down in Tampa, Florida. But I want to bring him on to not only elaborate a little bit more on the significance of tea and conversation, but also, his spirit, the way he presents, the way he speaks, the way he teaches. And I want to be able to drop some nuggets on the Sportsvisions Nation this morning. And so we'll welcome Jarvis El-Amin on at 7 o'clock. Curt Crowell, we had, of course, we know Curt. Last week I actually had a mix-up there with Curt, but we got him on. He's an assistant basketball coach, longtime supporter of youth sports in the community. We'll have Curt on. And, of course, last week was his birthday, and we had that opportunity to say happy birthday to Curt on the air. Also coming up, I tell you, man, I get excited every time I talk about these guys. And these are guys that you heard from one, Mike V, last week. And again, Mike V is a legend, a sports talk legend, but he goes way, way back, almost 30 years in the Chattahoochee Valley. And we had him on. He was a partner that I broke into sports talk radio professionally with. We had him on. But Roger Shultz is a former Alabama great. He's an offensive lineman that played over there. A couple of all SEC teams that he made, but he was also integral part of Mike V and myself as we launched on AM 540 WDAK, the Sports Monster. Roger did a morning show, and he also was the GM of the station, and we're going to have him on to bring back some walk back down memory lane, and also just to kind of catch up because he's still actively doing the sports talk circuit. Again, being a former Alabama great, he likes to talk college football. He'll tell you up front, hey, man, listen, I don't know hockey. I don't know baseball. I don't know this or that, but I know what I do know is college football. So it's good to bring Roger back in the fold, Thrift.
I can't wait to be able to talk to him, DJ.
Absolutely. And also at 8:30, of course, it's that time of year, the San Mark Foundation Dream and Achieve Youth Basketball Camp. And, of course, we'll have with you the director of the camp. He's been working with the organization over 20 years, Corry Black, who wears a lot of titles, but Corry will be on to talk a little bit more in depth about the camp and all the things that are happening. And of course, it's always great to hear from Coach Black.
Yeah, it is. And this guy's done an amazing job with Sam Mitchell Camp over the last 20 years and looking forward to another big camp this year, free for all those in the community.
Absolutely. Rich, I tell you, when you, how late did you stay in the gym last night?
I've stayed till about 9:30. Those games were only an hour long. And so, Chris and I were there. We cleaned up and we got out of there at pretty decent time.
I asked you this morning when we got in, but who were some of the outstanding players that you thought that looked pretty doggone good?
Well, we'll start with that first game. On that first team that advanced to the championship. They were called You Already Lost, a pretty creative team name. They're coached by Frank Wilcox, the JV coach for Spencer. I'd also, obviously, Chris Horton, the coach from Shaw. He's a very good point guard. Great post player, Carl Ivy Jr. Jared Adderton was on that team. Zay Horton on that team as well. That was a very good team. They were taking on Uptown. Uptown had several local players in this area, and they also had. I was talking to a guy. He actually is from Cincinnati, Ohio. That's down here and playing in this league. I'm trying to remember exactly who was on that team, but yeah, the team called You Already Lost ended up winning that and actually winning that in convincing fashion. And then the 8-15 game, that was a team called Money Calling, and they had players like I was looking at the roster, former Hardaway player John Kiles, even though he didn't play. They only had 6 players, so they actually won the game playing with not really a bench. I mean, they really played with 5 players because one player didn't play, but they ended up taking on the Vipers, which if you're anybody that's familiar with the PBA, they was started up by Dr. Tasha Mahone and Angela Culliver. Some of the players on that team included like Cortez Cheney, who played basketball at Kendrick. You also had Anquan Mendenhall. You had Cornelius Thomas, Veron Moody. His brother won a state championship at Spencer. And so it was a lot of fun. I had a blast, and we got a championship versus Money Calling taking on You Already Lost.
And that's tomorrow?
That's going to be on Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. So Thursday is tomorrow, right?
Yes, that is tomorrow.
Okay.
It was already Wednesday. Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow.
I tell you what, man. But you know what? I was surprised you didn't call out because I checked in a little bit watching into A.J. Watts, the outstanding performer for at least he was a football player,
yes,
basketball
absolutely.
player. He was, of course, most recently, I believe, played at University of Memphis. But man, it amazes me that this young man, he's a talented, multi-talented kid, and I'm surprised that he didn't get a shot, though. Or maybe he did. I don't know.
I did. He was on the team called Uptown. I know we were talking about him before the show started, but yeah, he was on that Uptown team.
Yeah, but hopefully, in training camp, I hope he got invited back or invited to a training camp because he was a heck of a corner, heck of actually a defensive back at the University of Memphis, and he's still, like you said, he looked like he could still take over the gym.
Oh, absolutely. He looked phenomenal. Just fantastic athlete. Drove to the hole anytime he wanted. He has a terrific shot. I mean, he could still play. This is a guy who could definitely play at the highest level right now.
Thrift, you're fresh in out of the ATL, man. You got any updates or any big reports to tell us about yet?
No big reports or anything yet, DJ, but I'm telling you, whatever it is, it's in my stomach. It's just not wanting to cooperate right now. So it is taking a lot of energy out of me. But I'll tell you, Richard did a great job. I was able to listen to that on the way back. A lot of energy in that building. And I knew that it's the only thing going on in the city right now, especially basketball-wise. And then all the former players, all the legends, all the guys that were dominant back in their day, whether college or in high school. Some of them still playing pro now. Like you mentioned, Zay Horton, who's overseas, Christian Bradford, who plays overseas, getting major contracts. They're in this league. So on Thursday, I know it is going to be a shutdown who's who at Shirley B. Winston.
Will you be on the call?
I will be on the call for Thursday. I will be back in action for that one.
I know you're going to probably, in between breaks, you'll be out shooting threes and making sure that
I wouldn't mind playing, for sure on that. If they only got 5 players, I'll dress up right now and go out there and try to win a championship.
When was the last time you actually, laced them up, man? Because it's been a while since I heard you say.
Yeah, it's been over close to a year.
Yeah.
At the beginning of last school year is when the last time I played, and I've been invited to several open runs and stuff. I just got to make time, and I've been saying I was going to do that.
Tell you what, though, just being away that long, you better take your time. You better make sure that you're training a little bit, get yourself up. Don't just jump out there and thinking that, I'm the old Thrift from back in the day.
Not me now. If I warm up a little bit, that's different. But I promise in that first game, that is just a feel for seeing where I'm at with me in my game.
706-324-1420 is the number to call if you want to chime in this morning. I definitely want to make sure that I make this announcement before we go to our first break. Again, my prayers and our condolences are out to the family of Coach Tommy Drew. He passed away last night with his family. Of course, I had made a post. If you actually called me down in in Tampa when I was down last week, and some people had gotten a hold of you. I think your mother.
Assistant principal of where my mother is at in Matthews gave you a call.
Yeah, just to catch up with me and his daughter Terry. Obviously, Coach has been in hospice and he was in transitioning. But you know what really sparkled in my heart was the fact that she said, DJ, I'm going to put you on speakerphone, and I don't know if I know he can hear you, but I don't know if he'll say anything. And as soon as she did it, man, I said, hey, Coach. He said, hey, DJ. Man, that opened my heart up, man. It just, boy, I tell you. But the fact of the matter is, this young man, and then we'll talk more about it here in the break, but Coach Tommy Drew has touched more lives than you can imagine, man. And being the powerhouse coach that he was with the Edgewood Red Devils out on Morris Road, the old Morris Road, of course, and that was, where our home fields out there in the Eastern Little League. That's where that was our home base in our park. But I tell you, man, you know what? If we tried to get Coach Drew, Dale Williams and I we played for Tommy Drew after we played for the Carver Colts in the YMCA League. And the best thing that ever happened to us, because our games went to the next level. We learned so much more out there in that program. And when we played for I played for several other coaches, but I ended up playing finally and having and really blossoming for Coach Tommy Drew. He was a guy that was no nonsense. He was a genius. With as far as offensive football, as far as football, period. A big Alabama fan, loved Bear Bryant. Matter of fact, the crimson that we wore at Edgewood, you put you in the mind of University of Alabama. But he's gone on to, of course, to glory. He's in a better place now. And again, condolences to the family. And so all the former players, all the former coaches that coached with him, all the parents, all the Booster Club members, and man, I tell you what, we're gonna surely miss Coach Tommy Drew.
I was glad you were able to talk to him, DJ, and I never got to meet him, but I've heard a lot of great stories from you and other people that he was able to touch. And I think this is we got to celebrate someone that was a legend that gave back to so many kids in this community.
I just want this show I want to dedicate it to him. And again, I know that we have some guests scheduled, but in between time, hopefully we'll have an opportunity to hear from some of the people who have Coach Drew impacted, whose lives he's touched. And you'll just call in to maybe just say thank you to the family, thank you to Coach Drew, and again, how much you appreciated the times that you spent with them. Even the cheerleaders. I mean, we were a close-knit group with the whole organization. Again, from I guess 7-year-olds all the way up to I played out there at Edgewood for Coach Drew until my senior year, at least to my freshman year in high school. So that's probably about 13, 14 years old. So anybody out there that wish it, feel it on your heart that you want to call in and say something, say a few words, or to wish the family well and to talk about your experiences with Coach Drew, I'm going to open it up today, 706-324-1420. We're going to go ahead and take a break. You are watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma put it down. Hey.
If it's local, it's on the Sportsvisions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good morning, I'm Rex Castillo. Here's a look at your morning headlines. A 3-month drug operation in Chambers County led to 66 arrests and 135 charges. Authorities seized a range of narcotics that included meth, fentanyl, and cocaine. Several suspects now face felony trafficking and distribution charges. Meanwhile, in Columbus, trouble is resurfacing at the Ralston downtown. Columbus inspectors cited at least 13 code issues in recent weeks that included AC failures and leaks. The owners say repairs are underway, but concerns echo problems that once led to the building shutdown. There's good news for 4th of July travelers. Gas prices are dropping. In Auburn, it's as low as $2.54 a gallon. In Columbus, sits around $2.65. With Alabama's average below the national mark, analysts say we may see the cheapest 4th of July fuel since 2021. From WRBL News 3, I'm Rex Castillo. Have a great day, everybody.
Good Wednesday morning. We are starting the day off cloudy and humid with those temperatures in the low 70s. Areas of patchy fog will be possible again across most of the region. And that stalled front that brought in the rain yesterday will keep the rain chances south of Columbus this afternoon and evening. More sunshine towards the north. Temperatures will be near 90 by this afternoon, and that forecast becoming hotter and drier just in time for the 4th of July holiday weekend.
Everything is expensive right now. Gas, food, you name it. You're spending more, you are making the same or less money. So what do? You rack up credit card debt. That's what you do. It's not your fault. It's the economy. And guess what? If you rack up too much credit card debt like some of us, you can't pay your bills. Then the credit card companies, as nice as they are, start hounding you for money. Then you start your downward spiral. A smart thing for you to do is to call the Zero Debt. They can help you consolidate all your credit card bills into one affordable payment. Millions of people have done it. It works to make you debt-free. Make this free call right now. It costs you nothing to learn more.
800-628-5675. 800-628-5675. 800-628-5675. That's 800-628-5675.
Corry's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
There's a special deal going on at Corry's Furniture Express. This 4th of July, Corry's is celebrating Independence Day by paying the taxes on any purchase you make inside the store. Any purchase, any amount. Check out their great selection of furniture in stock and ready for you, and that's only at Corry's Furniture. Happy 4th of July from Corry's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AIRPORT25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AIRPORT25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AIRPORT25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, 12 to 3 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions morning show. Here's Carver Tigers legend DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions morning show. It's Wednesday. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. And again, we want to thank you for tuning in this morning. Actually, the Columbus Clingstones are on the road. They got rained out yesterday, guys, so they're going to be doubling it up today down in Montgomery against the Biscuits. And, of course, Thursday will complete that half of the series against the Biscuits down in Montgomery. Then they're coming home and have the weekend and be able to celebrate the 4th of July at Synovus Park. And we're hoping that everybody gets an opportunity to go down and spend some time from Friday through Sunday down at Synovus Park with the Columbus Clingstones. Thrift, I know that you aren't at your best this morning. However, I know you may mention that you might possibly get down there this weekend.
Oh, yeah. The weather looks like it's going to be pretty good, and they got a big fireworks show for July 4th on Friday night. So why not go out and show some support? And it looks like the weather's going to be pretty good, too. It's going to be hot, but no rain this weekend. So go out and support the Clingstones and have fun in their first July 4th weekend here at Synovus Park.
I got family coming down from Atlanta in and around. Going to have some folks over to the house and gonna do it. But I think I'm going to drop some fish. The ribs, I know that'll probably be part of the menu, but I want some fried fish, some deep fried fish, and I'm going to go out and see if I can get a nice selection of fresh fish. The Fresh Mark had some great seafood up there. I'm going to get some fish from there and then drop it in. Richard, what's the plan for you over this 4th of July weekend?
Well, the family is going out of town on Thursday, but I will be back just in time for that Columbus United Montgomery United game on Saturday night at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. And the family is actually going to go to a Clingstones game next week when they play Pensacola. So we might be catching a game next week, possibly on Thursday. So looking forward to that. We were trying to go last week, but the kids were just disinterested, but if there's stuff to do there for the kids, I think that it would be a great experience because they're going to see other kids playing, and they're going to want to be there and have a great time. They don't really care about watching the game, but I'm actually going to be in my seat focused on the game. That's the type of fan I am. I'll even bring out my scorebook and keep the score. And
that sounds like you.
Yeah, that's how much I love. That's why I love that press box where the media is, because they got game notes and you could sit up there and you can actually study the game in the nice AC up in that press box.
So the days of having a nice hot dog or some nachos and a nice cold drink and just kind of chilling, those days you can't even enjoy your game that way, huh?
Well, no, I still like a hot dog with nachos and a soda. I think that's still always going to be a tradition for me. For baseball, but with the food items at Synovus Park, you got chicken nachos, you got pizza. I mean, there's so much to choose from that you could change it up a little bit.
While we're talking baseball, we might as well go ahead and let you know that Atlanta did it again. They got a boo-boo and couldn't get any reliever help. Got shut out actually by the Angels at Truist Park, Thrift. And I know that it's been up and down with the Braves here. And again, just a few days out before the All-Star break, it's not looking any better. I thought maybe when the Mets came in town maybe a week or so ago in that series that they were able to, the Braves were able to take care of business there. But that was just, flirting with disaster. I mean, up and down. And then the fact of the matter is we find out that the ace, Chris Sales, has been extended to 60-day injured list. So it's going to be in August sometime before we get him back. But again, what do you do?
Yeah, this team is now 10 games under 500, and they're losing and they're doing this, by the way, at home, losing these games. Since they lost since the Mets series, they have now lost. They've gone 1-5 in their last 6 games. There's no way this team can say they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. So what is Anthopoulos going to do? Your team's 10 games under 500. You didn't do good on that stretch. You're 11.5 back of the division. And if you look at the wild card, you're 7.5 back. And you are flirting right now with one of the worst records in your own division. You're only a game above Washington, and you're below Miami. So you're the 4th in the standings. I just don't see it, DJ.
How concerned are you with that fractured rib that Chris Sale had? Of course, initially 15 days, and now it's been extended to 60 days.
Obviously, this is, especially those ribs, DJ, when you're pitching, that can be something that lingers on. Also, I just hate the fact that Chris Sale's 35, only had a few years of prime left, and we're wasting it on 2 seasons in which last year we didn't even have Acuna, and then, of course, this year we're not even going to make the playoffs. So what was a good signing, and he actually produced. It just didn't translate to wins for the Atlanta Braves.
Well, the Braves and, of course, the Los Angeles Angels will go back at it again. 7:15 first pitch. And hopefully, again, I don't know how much longer I could continue to say that. Hopefully, he can get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, 36 and 46. I'm not seeing it. And if they, again, lose to the Angels, they got today and tomorrow, and then they have 3 games with Baltimore at home. This should be a homestand with this is 9 games, 7-2, 6-3 minimum. And right now you're 1-3. So that means you can't lose any more games. They need to win the next 5 to even be competitive right before the All-Star break. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
On a positive note, we're only, weeks away from the SEC Media Days. And, of course, a few months away from college football season kicking off action. And agreeing all the preseason polls and all the great accolades in the preseason starting to come out. Hey, congratulations to the University of Alabama. They got 2 first-team, when you talk about the Walter Camp All-American, preseason All-Americans, and that's, of course, Ryan Williams, the sophomore wide receiver, and the junior offensive tackle, Caden Proctor. So those are 2 very, very good players, talented players, and we'll have more over the course of the upcoming weeks as those lists started to come out. But those are the 2 first guys that I saw that, and these guys were good last year as a young, Ryan was all world. Ryan Williams, the wide receiver, of course he should have been in high school last year, they say, but he was a freshman at the University of Alabama. But again, him and all the things that he's accomplished through, and of course he's not too light in the pocket right now. He's over $2 million in NIL earnings, and we'll talk about that as well. Some of the top NIL earners, not only in college football but in the SEC.
This guy he had a great freshman year. By the way, I don't know if you knew, Richard, he was 17 last year.
Yeah, I know.
That's incredible. That was the joke over and over again.
Yeah.
He's 17.
Yeah.
But he was a great athlete, and I think he's going to have major things coming in the next couple of years.
Next couple of years, indeed. But I tell you, talking about Auburn, that's going to be the talk. And I know it's been kind of quiet, and, with good reason, because nobody knows what to expect. But I do know that there are a lot of expectations, high expectations from the Auburn fans. And according to everything that I've heard from Hugh Freeze, that he's not bragging, but he's saying, hey, look, yeah, we're going to step up to the plate.
He said, and most people, and I agree with him, this is Hugh Freeze's most talented roster. It's the most talented rosters Auburn's had in over 6 seasons. So, this needs to be a winning year. This needs to be 8 or 9. The schedule is favorable. You get Georgia and Alabama at home. You play teams like Arkansas, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt, all winnable SEC games. Baylor, you do play on the road to start the season, but again, a very favorable non-conference schedule. The news right now in notes is the fact that Hugh Freeze has played 10 rounds of golf in the first 20 days of June. So right now, Auburn for the next year's recruiting class is 47th. So I'm guessing beat writers didn't have a lot to talk about this month. There's not a lot going on. How can I get people riled up and clicking on it? Let me talk about the fact that Hugh Freeze, who's already on the hot seat, a fan base that is just dying to be relevant in Auburn's, knowing that you can one little stick, you'll wake the bear up, you'll poke the bear, and they put out that he's played a lot of golf lately. So now this is a conversation. It's Hugh Freeze, who's still battling his health stuff. Is he not focused? He's not driven. He says he's going to be a recruiting madman. Why are we ranked 47th for next year, even though you just had a great one this past couple of seasons? And is it due to the fact he's only playing golf? And I think this is such nonsense and such a non-story, but I get it. It's June. What is there to talk about? How do you get clicks? And apparently it's saying Hugh Freeze plays too much golf in June.
And, of course, we know people are reaching. Everybody's looking for a reason. And, again, I know that, Kirby Smart happens to play golf. Maybe not that many rounds of golf.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it is a lot. But, at the same time, hey, man, listen, it's not a whole lot that could get done when you talk about, the dead periods that go on in the summer. And, hey, man, we'll go figure. Now, again, all Hugh Freeze has to do is, of course, come out winning, coming out with guns blazing, and then all of that talk will be gone. But I'm sure as we go into SEC Media Days, some of that nonsense is going to come out, and hopefully, if I know Hugh Freeze like I think I do, he'll remain calm and he'll say all the right things so that he can keep everybody focused on the job at hand, and that is to win football games for Auburn.
Yeah, and that is having them in the conversation when November comes around as a potential team that can make the playoff. Auburn has not had that since 2021. Brian Harson's first year. They were heading to November 6-2, playing A&M, ranked top 15, and many people thought Auburn finished strong, is able to beat Alabama and make it the SEC championship game. Why can't they be in the playoff? They haven't had that since then. So it's been a while, and hopefully Auburn can get back on track. That's the biggest goal. When November comes around, you can't be like last year, 5-5 or 4-6. It's just not going to cut it.
Thrift and Richard, we can talk about Hugh Freeze and what he's supposed to do till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, you got to have players there. You got to have players on the field. And obviously, from a standpoint of what you know right now, who's the quarterback? What is the quarterback going to have to do to make Auburn the team that they need to be?
Jackson Arnold. He just transferred from Oklahoma. Hugh Freeze has put all his eggs in that basket. So that is a guy that's going to be, he already said the starter for next year. Mm-hmm. So he played for Oklahoma last year. He had over 150 yards rushing against Alabama and helping them beat them 24-3. But it was an up and down year. Got a lot of talent. This is Auburn's best quarterback since Bo Nix. I think it's going to translate to wins. And again, he put all his eggs in this Jackson Arnold basket. He better predicate his offense around him.
What about running back?
Damari Alston. He's was the backup last year to Jarquez Hunter, and he should be a huge contributor. And when Auburn wanted to run the football last year, they were able to. They just chose not to and had Peyton Thorne throw way too much. So we're hoping this year, if you're an Auburn fan, that you're seeing a guy that can balance offense is the biggest key. And having Jackson Arnold use his legs with Damari Alston in the backfield, plus Arnold trying to get the ball out to his playmakers, and Eric Singleton Jr. from Georgia Tech, Cam Coleman, or just some to name a few. I think this Auburn team has what it takes to put up over 30 a game. They just got a former five-star safety. Kind of remind me of when they got Trey Matthews from Georgia in 2017. They can maybe take their defense to another level. This Auburn roster is exactly what you want to win 9 or 10 games. There are no more excuses for Hugh Freeze.
All right, before we go to the break, I want to shout out, of course, Gerald Bitgood is listening from the north side. Stanley Crowell, obviously, he's checking in as usual. Sandra Vett Shelton, good morning. We appreciate you. Ben Watson, he's out there on the West Coast. And, of course, he's out there with those future business leaders of America from Central High School. And they got a chance to see their first Major League game at Dodger Stadium. And they're listening on the Sportsvisions radio app. So shout out to them as well. We appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and take another break. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
The other day, I seen this dog attack this guy. It was so bad, the dog kept biting him. People was trying to get the dog off the person, but the dog wouldn't let go. Then out of nowhere, this guy comes up and yells, "Top dog!" Dog stopped. He walked away. It was crazy. Know what people were saying? That's the dog. That's Top Dog. Know what I was saying? I was asking, why was he biting him like that? What happened? Then I got the backstory. He just hit somebody down the street, got out his car and started running. Out of nowhere, this dog came running after him, caught him, and started biting him. And it was Top Dog. Couldn't believe it. He was fast. I couldn't believe it. He was big. I couldn't believe it. Any accident, you gotta believe it. Top Dog Law.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
When you buy a new house, you might say,
"Shut the front door."
Winning.
No, seriously, shut the front door. We own this house now.
But you actually need to say,
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. The local State Farm agent is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
Welcome to my crib. No one says that anymore, but I don't care.
So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Alabama at highschoolofficials.com.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Your home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. It's Hump Day. We're halfway through the week, and again, we are up and at 'em. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. And, of course, the Sportsvisions Morning Show is proud to be a partner of yours to help you start this day. And, of course, it's Wednesday. Already halfway through the week and all downhill, all points into the weekend. We got a short week, y'all. Friday is actually the 4th of July, and I know that a lot of folks are making plans to do a lot of different things. Some people are traveling, some people are hosting, but more importantly, you are just going to hopefully relax and enjoy your 3-day weekend. Some people, it'll be a 4-day weekend, Richard.
Yeah, I actually have a 4th of July tradition. I love watching the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Okay.
Joey Chestnut is back in it. I remember back in the early 2000s with him and Kobayashi were going back and forth. What a great rivalry. I know it's kind of weird. A lot of people, like my college buddy, he introduced it to me and I'm like, what are they doing? He's stuffing like 70 hot dogs. They're dipping the bun in water. This looks weird, but it's a tradition for the 4th of July at Coney Island. Also the Peachtree Road Race in Atlanta, which I've ran in it several times.
Same here.
It is tough. That cardiac hill is insane, and that's also a great tradition as well.
Absolutely. I know the Peachtree Road Race. You get in that once you get into that mood and you get in with all of those people and all that, and just get in that feel that vibe. You get caught up, and once the race starts, you don't think about how hot it is, or you don't think. I didn't think about those hills because you got literally thousands of people running with you from, Lenox Mall and Buckhead all the way down to Piedmont Park. And that's a trail there. And you're going up and down. And for those folks who know old Peachtree Street, man, that ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah. And the most important thing is after you're done at Piedmont Park, getting that T-shirt.
Yes, indeed. I don't even know what I've done with my T-shirts. Like I said, I know I've run in two officially. I've run in 3. 2 officially where I, registered and obviously got the T-shirt. But the one year I just said, hey, I don't need to register. I'm just going to run because I feel like it. But what it was, I can remember now. It was actually one of the last few conditioning exercises that I would do before training camp, because we would, those of us that played in the league, we would work out together at Georgia Tech every morning prior during the preseason. And of course, with the Peachtree Road Race being, the big spectacle that it is, that would be the final, I guess, measurement for me to say, okay, I can run, what is that, 5 miles, 5.5 miles?
Yeah, it's a 10K, so 5.2 miles.
5.2 miles, yeah. So, again, but just bouncing and once you, just getting in the flow and the rhythm of things, it's almost like, doing the shuffle in the Army.
Yeah, actually, my math ain't mathing. It's actually 6.2 miles.
6.2 miles.
10K.
Okay. I know that's right. Thrift, you ever thought about running in the Peachtree Road Race? Or for that matter, more recently here in Columbus, doesn't country have some kind of a 10 or
5K?
5K.
10K. Yeah, I think it's Midnight Run is when they have that coming up here in August. It's something I have thought about doing. I know Natalie's done several of these races and been able to be competitive at it as well. And I definitely want to start picking that up when it's not 900 degrees outside. Here in the Georgia heat.
Yeah, but all in all, we want everybody to get in the spirit and enjoy yourselves, relax however you want to, eat what you want to, and again, do what you want to within the law, if you will. Hey, now let's go ahead and talk about free agency in basketball. I know this week it's been a lot of information going out after, and it's just a short time after the OKC Thunder has captured the NBA title. But man, oh man, good things happen to good people, Thrift. And when you talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the extension that he just signed, man, you talk about a blockbuster deal. Again, it couldn't happen to a better guy. Here's a guy that's putting in work. This guy's won an NBA championship. He's won an NBA Finals MVP. He's won a league scoring championship. He's done the things. And again, he's put in the work over the past couple of years to set himself up for this wonderful extension.
Yeah, and he deserves it. And I'm seeing right now, this is the highest paid anyone's going to get per year. At 4 years, 285 Supermax. He deserves every penny of it. And the Thunder said, I'm glad to sign you right now, because if they waited a year, it's probably going to be even more money as it keeps going up because of the salary cap and because of the TV rights deal. Guys, can you imagine making over $70 million a year? That's crazy money. We talk about generational wealth. That's super generational wealth. But the fact of the matter, it couldn't have happened to a greater guy. And I know that, that's just the start of it. Every time, one guy in the NBA signs a big deal, and it's going to be the domino effect, but you know what, for what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has accomplished, not only in his career, but this past season, I'm glad to see that happen, because you want to reward the winners. You want to reward champions, and he certainly has done that.
Yeah, I'm all about players getting paid, but when you get a player who might be an all-star, not necessarily a superstar, getting a max deal, and then you have the luxury tax, and then they take the cap hit. I mean, it's really going to decimate a team. But I think that the free agency period, I'm glad that SGA was able to get his money. He deserves it. He won the MVP. I mean, this guy is a superstar. So well done. And OKC is they're younger. I mean, they've won a championship. They got everybody locked in their deals. And I think that they're going to be, again, the team to beat in the West, even in a stacked Western Conference.
Thrift, what do you think about Milwaukee cutting, or at least letting go contract of Dame time? I mean, and again, bringing in Miles Turner from over it with the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, I know. I saw Giannis, he was not very happy of them waiving Dame, but Dame was not going to play next year at all. Remember, he just tore his Achilles, so it was a wash year anyway. So why not get him off the books and then go get a Miles Turner, which, again, I don't understand why they made the move. He's good, but you're putting yourself in kind of a cap hold, especially if Giannis decides to get traded. What are you going to do with just a Miles Turner, and how are you going to rebuild? It's going to take you time to get out of it, but they're swinging for the fences right now. I told you, wide open East, so they went and got a guy that shot blocks, can play off the ball with Giannis. Now that Brook Lopez is out, and they just need to find a replacement for Damian Lillard.
Yeah, and you talk about the Lakers with LeBron opting in. The one thing they really need to actually compete and be a favorite to be a championship contender is a center, a rim protector. And you don't have an opportunity to get Miles Turner or Clint Capella. DeAndre Ayton was another name thrown out there. I really think that last year when they were trying to get Mark Williams from Charlotte, then he fails his physical. They knew that they were going to have a gap after letting Anthony Davis go in the Luka trade to Dallas, and they're going to need a center. And so I'm wondering, what are the Lakers going to do to try to make sure to get that rim protector?
I'm just, again, and the talk is starting to shift from LeBron to Luka. Obviously it's Luka's team, but, again, bottom line is, again, with all LeBron has invested with the Lakers, and of course, that family who doesn't own the team anymore now. Again, you're talking about Mark Walters and his new group. How much or how important is, or how just the fact how they're going to handle, LeBron, and again, are they going to allow him to do or something that's respectable, that's been all a part of his career? But again, it's not. What I'm saying is, are they going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? I don't think so, because he has been such an instrumental part of the growth and the promotions of the league. So I think that I don't know how he's going to land. I don't know how he's going to land. Thrift, what do you think is going to happen with LeBron in order to make it, make it right?
I'm interested in seeing too, because I don't know how many teams can take on $50 million from a guy that is way past his prime. Who wants to take on that? Who wants to take on what is LeBron right now? I don't know if there's many suitors out there. So the Lakers are going to have to drive this plane, and they're going to have to land it with him and let him finish out his career, or at least this year with the Lakers. And I know it's awkward right now because Lakers are in Luka mode, and LeBron saying, I want to win now mode, and we're having a kind of battle of wills. But I don't think the Lakers are going to give in with this new ownership group, because in the end, they're not going to mortgage their future for a couple LeBron years for potentially maybe what if they get hot, because right down the roster cannot compete with an Oklahoma City Thunder.
I want to take it back to Milwaukee because I got some unfinished business there. I know that they let, of course, Dame time go, and they're going to they still got to pay him his money. They're responsible. So Damon can go, he can pick and choose a team of his choice, because again, he can go there and Milwaukee still has to pay him.
Yeah.
But the fact that Milwaukee is going to be having, still have Dame on the books, and they're bringing over Miles Turner, man, that's a cap hit that from hell. I mean, that's $40-50 million that they are not going to get the production, because we know that Miles is a good player, but he's not not the guy that's going to be feeling that kind of cap hit.
No, exactly. And that I'm just interested in what the Bucks are going to be able to do.
Yeah, and Giannis was playing at an MVP level last season, and they lost in the first round. It was unfortunate that Dame got hurt towards Achilles, but I didn't really like this fit from the start. I didn't like the fact that Milwaukee got rid of Drew Holiday, then they later got rid of Chris Middleton. You're getting rid of all your pieces that helped you win a championship in 2021. Now Brook Lopez is gone. Yes, they did re-sign Bobby Portis, but I actually think that the Milwaukee Bucks in an Eastern Conference that's wide open, they got to make a move. Miles Turner, do they keep Giannis? I like the move getting Miles Turner, but he plays the same position as Giannis. Unless you put Giannis at power forward and Turner at center, I mean, it could work, but you also need to get some perimeter play as well.
Absolutely. A little closer to home, the Atlanta Hawks have made a few moves. And again, I know that when drafting Asa Newell, this is a draft that, it's just a developmental guy. You got to develop this guy. He's not going to be, they didn't sign him to come right in and take, expect him to play. But do they have enough people around him to give him an opportunity to develop, Thrift?
I think they do, and I think they got guys that they that he definitely can learn from, and I'm hoping that translates in being successful. I like the addition of Nikhil Williams, Alexander Walker, and I think that this is going to be a really good team next year, and I like their roster a lot. They just got to put the winning together. That's the main thing.
All right, Thrift. I'm so used to looking over that way and looking at Thrift, but I'm looking at Richard. But Richard, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, of course, on the other side, we'll have Jarvis El-Amin, who is a dynamite motivational speaker. Try to drop some nuggets on here on you before this 4th of July weekend, something to make you think about and head into just a celebratory, emotional, inspirational mood. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
Corry's Furniture Express, your expressway to say.
There's a special deal going on at Corry's Furniture Express. This 4th of July, Corry's is celebrating Independence Day by paying the taxes on any purchase you make inside the store. Any purchase, any amount. Check out their great selection of furniture in stock and ready for you, and that's only at Corry's Furniture. Happy 4th of July from Corry's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. My friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now. Without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special only $49.99. Become a non-smoker. That's right. Seminar Wednesday, July 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at North Lake in Columbus. Stop smoking seminars at 8 p.m. Weight loss seminars at 5:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Auto Nation's Columbus, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram. We believe in giving people a break. Right now, you can get $12,000 off a new 2025 Ram 1500 or $9,000 off a 2024 Jeep Gladiator. And if credit's been a struggle, don't stress. We've helped folks with no credit, bad credit, even bankruptcies. We're here to help, not judge. Looking for a solid used ride? We've got thousands at Auto Nation's Columbus, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. And with 2 locations in Columbus, we're closer than you think. Come see us. We'll treat you right.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you wear glasses or use hearing aids? VA Healthcare may cover both of those for you at no or low cost. You may even be eligible for free dental care at one of VA's more than 200 dental clinics. Sign up at va.gov, call 1-800-MyVA411, or visit your nearest VA medical center.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
Visit operationhomefront.org to learn more.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Guess who's back?
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones Thrift Barringer and Richard Holdridge. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in out there. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to talk to an exciting young man, Jarvis El-Amin. He will be coming live from Florida, Tampa, Florida. And Jarvis, obviously, what I'd like for him to do today is to obviously sprinkle some positive nuggets on our Sports Visions nation, of course, with regards to, again, staying positive, staying upbeat, and being on. And again, it's a frame of mind. I know that some people find it hard to get up in the morning. Some people find it hard to get their days going. Some people just, need that little extra motivation. But, Jarvis is a presenter and a host that I've witnessed several events, and he really gets me going. And I just wanted to, obviously learn a little bit from him and have him spread some of that knowledge on the Sports Visions Nation this morning through it, because you and I both know, as a host and as a guy that has to, to come before a crowd and lift people up. And, it's a special talent that you have to have, but it also is a mindset.
100%. And I think this guy's a ball full of energy, and I can't wait to have him on.
Absolutely. Also, Curtis Crowell will be up with us a little bit later. And again, Curtis is a guy that has been working in the community for quite some time. He also is an assistant basketball coach for the Shaw Raiders, and he'll talk about some of the things he's got going on this summer. One of the Alabama greats, Roger Shultz, offensive lineman, a two-time All-SEC lineman, of course, a guy that was part of a three-team tandem that started Sports Talk Radio here in Columbus, Georgia, back in 1997. I was fortunate to be a part of that team with Roger and Mike V. And Roger Shultz is currently over in the Mobile area, and he still makes his way around the circuit, the sports talk circuit. But he loves Alabama, and he loves talking college football. So we'll be happy to catch up with Roger. And, of course, at the 8:30 hour, Corry Black. That's right. He's the Dean of Scholars at Emmanuel Tipple course, Emmanuel Prep Academy. And he's also the director for the San Mark Foundation Youth Basketball Camp. And he'll be with us to talk about how you can get signed up. I guess we made the announcement yesterday because registration opened up yesterday. And again, it usually just 24 to 48 hours before that camp is all filled with 200 spots. But what's so attractive about this camp and those 200 spots is the fact that not only do they get the best coaching, they get the best teaching and some of the best speakers that come in from the community, but they got some great food up at CSU.
Come on, man. That's free. Most people are charging a lot of money for that. That is why they're so awesome and giving back to this community. I was a part of it back in high school, and I think it's awesome to see what they're doing this year for all the students.
Proud to say that 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago, I had an opportunity. I got a phone call from Mark Upshaw. He says, DJ, Sam and I want to do a camp in Columbus, and we can't do it without you. And obviously, I was boots on the ground here with Diamond Sports Marketing. This was even right at the start of Dale and I starting Sportsvisions. But that was definitely something that I was looking forward to. It was an honor because I still pride myself today on partnerships with guys that, have put in the work, who have come from this community, who has had this community to pour into them and still want to make, even if they're not, living here currently, as we have with Mark and Sam, but the fact that they called and allowed me to coordinate and set up their camp, over 20 years ago, and to pretty much, be a part of it even to this day is just sensational. But Corry Black will be on to give us all the details, all the understandings of what to do and how to do it. And again, more importantly, I'm sure he's going to make sure that you register, because it's going to be probably coming to a close here in the next day or so.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's already, this thing fills up very quickly. So if you hadn't signed up now, you better sign up in the near future, or you're going to be in trouble.
We were talking about NBA free agency, and again, some of the big signings, again, with the fact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signing the biggest deal in NBA history. His average is going to be about a little over $71 million a year, and that's just coming from the team. Now, here's a guy who has options because, you do see his face. He probably does have a sneaker deal, but as far as chasing a lot of other things out there that generates income, I don't think that he has. He's going to be as challenged to do so. When you're making $70 million, man, you don't have to do a lot of the same things that the guys that are making 10, 15, and 20.
Yeah, I agree. I will say though, Shai's a very down to earth guy. This is why they love him and they wanted to pay him. And there's not a more deserving guy right now of that money at 26 years old than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And from what I understand, Richard, not only did they take care of Shai, but that core group, again, kind of like when, of course, the team that you're familiar with, the Warriors had that run with Steph and those guys. The basic, or at least the unit that's around him, those guys are taking care of him. And it's not like they're going to be pricing themselves out of, by paying Shai, they're going to lose all of that, all the guys that support system.
Yeah, Sam Pressly is one of the best GMs in the entire world of sports. Taking care of these guys and just being just that supporting cast for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Of course, we're going to see Jalen Williams, his number 2 option, going to get paid. Chet Holmgren. I mean, they've got some good pieces. Lou Dort, Isaiah Hardenstein. They're going to be around for a while because, even though SGA got his money, they're very smart deals that the GM has made just to keep OKC in the mix. And now they've got a championship, and next season they could go in and just play loose, play with house money, and really just continue building possibly even a dynasty.
All right, without further ado, I tell you what, we talked about him. He's a special guest today, this morning. He's leading us off. Jarvis El-Amin is a guy that I'm really fond of. He's a powerful, impactful speaker and a host, and does a great job in the Tampa Bay area of figuring out a way to try to get him here into Columbus. But obviously the best thing to do up to this point is bring him on the show and let him, of course, share all of that knowledge and all of that inspiration with our Sportsvisions Nation. Please welcome to the show, Jarvis El-Amin. Welcome to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, my friend.
Hey, DJ Jones and your guest, co-host Thrift. I'm so happy to be here. It's exciting to be up and ready, fired up, ready to go.
Absolutely. Jarvis, first of all, before we get into the heavy lifting, obviously, I'd like you to, you were the host on Saturday at Tea and Conversation, man. And you hit it out of the park as you always do. You were able to get, anywhere from 15 to 20 different speakers or people to come up and say a few words. And as you say, they came up, they hit it and quit it. But I just love the way you facilitated that event.
Yes, I tell you something, DJ. Thanks to your wife, Candy Lowe Jones, and Tea and Conversation, the Black Business Bus Tour, and all that we do in empowering our community in the Tampa Bay area through economic empowerment, political empowerment. I tell you something, DJ. It's a social discussion group that's just powerful. Really just bringing people together, elected officials. They come through this. If they want to be elected in this community, they feel obligated to come and have a sit down with Tea and Conversation. And really, we've been very, very successful. We celebrated 20 years of success. We started out just talking about relationships. After that, we kind of moved into politics to when President Obama was running for president and started doing the watch parties and it just grew and grew and grew. And we became a powerhouse in terms of if you want to be elected. We don't endorse, we don't do that, but you have to come by and see what the community is saying through this Tea and Conversation, this platform that's grown so powerful. We had 12 judges, 12 sitting judges that all came through Tea and Conversation. Elected officials from city council, the state reps, we recognized by city council, recognized by the state, recognized by the mayor of the city. It's just amazing when we put in the work, the heavy lifting, and really being impactful, not just impressive, but we're impactful, impacting the community, changing bank accounts, changing zip codes, making things better for the community, and doing it for the right reason, DJ and Thrift. That's the main thing, doing it for the right reason.
I tell you what, in the few short years that I've been on this earth, I have been around some impressive speakers, some some positive motivators. But you're right up there at the top, man. And I'm not saying that, and again, I'm not saying that lightly. You know how to get the room going. You know how to get the attention. And that's one of the reasons I want you to definitely expound on your career and your skills, your gifts this morning, because again, so much of what you do and so much of what you're called to do, and again, you're a sought-after speaker, you're a sought-after host. It's very much like a coach or a CEO or a leader of a company. You have to inspire those who are underneath you or the team that you lead. And again, there's a lot of correlation with regards to what you do and what I've seen throughout my college and professional career. And that's why, again, for me to have been the places I've been, meaning that honestly, hearing you, and you motivate me, you get me going, you make me want to run through a wall. And how did you get to that point?
Well, I can tell you something, DJ. It's amazing you said that. Really, I was young, 19 years old, 18 years old, left Dawson, Georgia, went to Miami and ran into a guy named Les Brown, the motivator, world-renowned speaker. And me, I worked with Les at that time. I got into sales. I was in sales all my life as a young professional. And selling, a lot of people here to hear the word sales is a fear-producing words in the minds of some people. But selling is the art of persuasion. Persuading people to invest in your product or your service, or persuading people to see your point of view. And you have to know that your point of view has value. And when you know your point of view has value, it's easy to persuade people to your point of view or for your product or service. And that got me going in that world. And then meeting Les Brown and working with him, I was selling his cassettes. Back in the day, that's a long time ago. I'm dating myself now. And he was doing the talking, but I was around him. And he said something that was very valuable to me when I was about 19 to 20 years old. He said, create value for yourself and the income and the money will come. Be impactful, make impact, and income will come. So you don't be driven by money alone, but you are so valuable that people want to invest in you. They know that it costs to have you around. They know that you come with a valuable price, but it's an investment. It's not no expense. See, there's a difference between an expense and an investment. When they hire me, they're investing in somebody that's going to motivate and bring value to whatever they're doing. I'm going to increase value to what they're doing. And that's the bottom line. You got to know how to create value. And you have to do business with your head, not your heart. We will be out here all the time, DJ. We want to do good. We want to speak at these events. And these people, sometimes they have budgets to invest in a speaker. But we so hard. We want to do business with our heart. We want to do it so out our heart so much that we do it for no money. And sometimes we devalue ourselves, and we have to stop that. And Jarvis, I went through that. I went through that in Tampa. Me and your wife, when we were working with Tea and Conversation, we went through that.
Jarvis, for somebody that wants to start their own business, how important is it to get out into the community and network with other business owners, anybody that believes in what they are trying to accomplish to get their business from the ground up?
Let me tell you something, Thrift. You asked a great question. Your networking increase your net worth. We win with people. We have to build a relationship. It's nothing more powerful than relationship building. I remember when I was young, a young salesperson, young in the marketing game. I was told, and I read this book every year, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It is the Bible. It is the master. It is the guideline on how you relate to people. How do you talk to people? Do you talk to people just going networking events, passing out cards? That's not networking. That's going in an event, passing out cards. Networking is let them tell you what's on their mind. What do you do? Let them talk first, because most people love to talk about themselves. So allow them to talk about themselves, and then you have to know how to ask the qualifying question.
You know, it's very, very important what you're saying. And again, the fact of the matter is that, you know, you have a very, very, diverse audience. I mean, the people come after you from all walks of life and wanting you to lead their program. They wanted you to speak to their teams. And, again, your upbringing, do you think that was your upbringing, your experiences that you had in life, the trials and tribulations? Do you think that factors into your presentation and how you come across to everybody?
Ain't no doubt about it, DJ. You lived experiences, coming from South Georgia, little town right south of Columbus, growing up poor, not having nothing, but having a big dream, growing up with a lot of love, always having a vision to be greater than what you are. And that is very powerful, because that motivates you. You know that you can do that. I'll tell you a story, DJ. I was at Tea and Conversation this past week. You was there, and I met one of the ladies was a judge, and she just was so inspired. She was so inspired by what she heard Saturday that she invited me to her house for dinner Monday. And it was a wonderful, wonderful. Two retired judges were there. Another a businessman that was there, which happened to be a husband, and I was there, and we had dinner, and it was amazing. And these are people, Caucasian people from other ethnicities, but they love what I had to say. They just want to get to know me more. And that connection, that's called networking as well. That connection will lead me into some areas in my life that's going to just be powerful. And so we have to always be open to the possibilities thinkers, the possibilities of what could be, and keep on trying and keep on throwing the rice on the wall and see what sticks, but never giving up. Keep plowing through, but keeping the value of what you do out front, being impactful, not just impressive.
Jarvis El-Amin is our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions morning show. And Jarvis, let's go to the next phase with this, because again, sometimes people want something for nothing. They might, you don't wait. And again, this is all in the relationship of you talking about creating value. And we know that we have value, but the audience that might need your services or want your services want to devalue them because of whatever reason. Maybe you're not, the big corporation, or you don't have a big name, but your talents and what I've seen you do. I mean, you can speak on any stage across America, but how do you get that point across to these folks that think maybe, I might get this other name and I might offer them $50,000, but I want Jarvis to come in and do it for $1,500.
Well, I'll tell you something, DJ, you have to create value for what you do, but it start with this not being too accessible. You can't be too accessible. You cannot have people that can call Jarvis El-Amin directly, can call DJ Jones directly. You got to have, in the words of people in marketing and sales, you got to have a gatekeeper. You need a gatekeeper. You need an administrative assistant. You need a marketer, because that creates value for you. If you're so accessible, then that devalue you in terms of what kind of money you could command from those people. When you have to call my marketing person, you have to call my administrative assistant, you got to call my manager who booked my speaking engagements. that put a different value on you right then. Automatically, that put a different value. And then you have to say to them, you can't be too anxious to be booked. Let me check my calendar. Let me check my calendar. So when you're busy people get things done, but busy people also make money, and they are valuable because they're busy. So when you be too accessible, then you have to know how to ask the qualifying questions. A lot of times, DJ and Thrift, these organization people calling you, they have a budget for a speaker. Got a budget for a DJ. They got a budget for the food. They got budget for decoration. But how much value do a speaker play into that? And an MC is even more valuable than the speaker. Because if the speaker is a bad speaker, guess who got to clean it up? The MC.
Yeah.
The MC got to keep the tone and the program moving. And I'm most sought after MC in the Tampa Bay area. I'm the best MC in the land because they know that I'm going to keep their program moving, upbeat, and I bring value to their program. Because even if they hire a bad speaker, if they hire me as the MC, I can clean it up. I just did an event with Barbershop Conversation where I was hosting MC. A full house a couple of days before you got that DJ, and it was a panel discussion. And this time we happen to have a great moderator and a great MC, so you knock a home run. So when you got a great moderator, great MC, great speaker, good food, you knock a home run. That's all. And sometimes you have to educate people who trying to do programs on what are the ingredients for a good program. They just don't know, DJ.
No, they absolutely do not. And I'm glad you made mention of putting a value on what we do and putting a value on being someone that can host events, get in front of a crowd, and do a good job at it. A lot of people think they can be a star, Jarvis. A lot of people think they can hold a conversation. A lot of people think they can do interviews. And then they get in front of people. It goes left or right. It's too long. It's too short. There's no energy in the room.
I know that's right.
Explain to people how important an MC is for an event, especially if you're trying to engage with a community. You got to have someone that knows what the heck they're doing.
Well, let me tell you this, Thrift and DJ. First of all, you got to have a tight run of the show. You got to have a tight run of the show. Don't let nobody give you MC. I always have a tight run of the show, time sensitive. Why? Because you'll go off the strip. And when you go off the strip, now you're going to start rambling. And anyone in that program on the run of the show, if they ramble one time, 3 minutes too long, they can kill your whole program. And sometimes you can't bring it back. If you got to walk up to them and start telling them to wrap it up, and you got to start waving your hands to wrap it up, that ain't a good thing. But people know my reputation in the Tampa Bay area. If Jarvis MC, it's going to be time sensitive, and the run of the show going to be tight. And that's why they hire me, because they want to get after the former program, the official program, they want to dance and network. People, they come for that, but their attention span, if you're over 60 or 65, your attention span is about 12 minutes. You ain't got no long attention span.
Yeah. Jarvis, you saying you hit it right on the head. And I'm going to roll right into the next thing is that, Ken, being respectful for people's time. If you got a program and you're inviting people out, I pride myself with these luncheons that we do. We're in, but you start at 11:30, man, we're gone by 1:00. And I'm talking about after honoring, literally over 100, young people and coaches. And it doesn't take a long time to get it done, get it right, and speaking, as you said, getting on the mic, getting at the podium and having these long drawn out speeches. And it doesn't take that. It doesn't take all of that. Maybe back in the day, man, but this is a new day. People don't have that kind of time.
No, they don't have that time. And I pride myself, DJ and Thrift, into starting on time, ending on time. Then when you create that reputation, that hire you more. See, you and Thrift, y'all got good content. I listen to y'all talk about sports. Y'all know what you're talking about. You understand me? So when you know what you're talking about, they gravitate to the value you have, but they also know that you're not going to be long drawn out with it. And you're able to articulate your message in a time-sensitive manner with clarity. And to that message to be inspirational. You can't be dry. Cannot just be monotone. You got to know when to crank it up. You got to know when to fire it up. You got to know when to bring it back. Sometimes when you have a bad presenter in a program, the MC got to have enough sense to know that was a bad presenter. Let me bring the crowd back because he almost killed this thing. I deal with that all the time, DJ. You seen it. all the time. But you have to have the ability to bring it back alive. And when you bring it back alive, you got to keep it alive. And so that's very, very, very important.
Jarvis, as a motivational speaker, what are some techniques that you use when you're addressing a crowd to try to get them captivated, to try to get motivated to do what you want that crowd to do?
Well, first thing, when you got a big crowd, you always, what we call it in the world of speaking, find your anchor. Find somebody in the audience, brother, that just into you. They like what you're saying, and that motivates you. You know, that motivates you. And having good content to know what you're talking about, being a subject matter expert and nothing about this that you're talking about. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to be a subject matter expert. But when you live in the moment, Thrift, you got to scan the audience and go out and reach out and touch the audience. You got to be very animated. You got to use body language, but you have to find you a warm, smiling face in the audience and feed off that. We call them anchors. And so every time I get into a conversation, I can look toward the room and know who my anchors are. And when I see my anchors and they look at me and they give me that look, I'm just fired up more and more. DJ see me in action. It is an amazing thing, brother. And it's my passion. You got to have passion for what you do and compassion for people. You hear what I just said? Absolutely. Passion for what you do. Deep passion. Passion and conviction. But also, DJ, you got to have compassion for people. You have to love people. You have to love people. You have to love humanity. I'm not talking about one group of people. You got to love humanity. You got to love people. You win with people.
Jarvis, one of your biggest fans and one of your biggest cheerleaders is on the chat. Candy Lowe Jones, my lovely wife, and she is going after it. She's when you get a chance after this interview, read some of those comments, man. But in addition to, again, all the work that you do, obviously at the same time, you got to recognize the people that you are involved with, the people that whether they're following you, whether you're trying to sell them, you have to know what's happening. You can't just go up and do your own thing. You have to reach them some kind of way. And in doing so, it's either going to be a productive conversation or not.
Well, you're telling the truth, DJ. I tell you something. We have the greatest team, man, with your wife, Candy Lowe. We've been together since 2002, 2003, and we have a great team. Everybody on the team know their role, and they can fall right in place when the time is appropriate. And we don't get in each other's lane. We all know our value, and we know how to maximize each other in their own talents. You know what I mean? And Candy gonna make sure she gonna put the who we want to bring up next. How we gonna put the run of the show. She dictate that. And it's a method to that. And so to keep the program live. If you saw what happened Saturday, the program stayed upbeat the whole throughout the hour. I mean, we got that 10, we was there an hour and a half. It was upbeat. It's hard to keep a program fully upbeat for an hour and a half, man.
Yes.
Because somebody liable to get up there and kill your program. But that program, it was something amazing for me and all the many years I've been doing this, that we was able to keep it. And that's because teamwork make the dream work. And that's not just a slogan, it is for real. And so we were able to do that because we know each other, we work together, we have love and respect for one another, not just on that surface level, but for each other's talents and roles that we play. And so that is very, very important. And so we are able to work together in that manner because of that.
My final question, and before we wrap this up, is that how do you control those egos? Obviously, there's a lot of people involved. You may mention it, hey, everybody knows their role, but again, you got people that everybody can't be the quarterback. Everybody can't be the guy that scored a touchdown. Everybody's not going to get interviewed after the program. Everybody's not going to get the pat on the back. But the group, if you have that winning group and that winning formula, you understand like you just said, your role. Expound on that for me, if you will.
Respect for authority, respect for leadership. Respect for everybody's roles, respect for each other's talents. Candy can do some things I can't do. Tawanda can do some things Candy can't do. Connie, our chief financial officer, she can do some things that I can't do. But we all know our role, and we know that it's not about egos. It's not about raising up Jarvis El-Amin. It's not about raising up the visionary leader with Candy Lowe. It's about the team rising together. We come as a team, and people in the community will respect that if they see you respecting each other. We set the example of what a good team look like. And so people have to have the example of what it look like. People have to see it. And that's what we've been able to do, DJ. It's been a wonderful 20-year ride. And I'm praying to God that we can get another 20 years out of this. But this community is growing because we are very impactful. It will never be nothing to be said in this town without talking about Jarvis, El-Amin, without talking about Candy Low, T10 Conversation, Flight Business Bus Tour, and the council being sought after, being invited to speak, and learning how to finally monetize that. For a long time, we didn't know how to monetize that. And God blessed us to come up with a way to do it, and do it with dignity. It's not doing it like you begging. It's doing it with dignity and doing it in a manner. Because I found out, DJ, people do have budget to invest in speakers. If you educate them, ask them the qualifying questions, and create value for you as a part of their program.
Well, Jarvis, we've certainly been, blessed to have you speak to the Sportsvisions Nation this morning. And again, and I know you will travel. Obviously, that you're based in Tampa, but there might be some people listening right here within this radio signal. But the bottom line is, I want to give you an opportunity to not only share whatever information you have, but definitely before you leave, share your contact information.
Yes, I want to definitely tell you, I have a workshop I do on sales, creating a sales mentality, how to think like a salesperson. We do a 4-hour training on that. Also, we can do one-on-one sales coaching. We can increase your revenue, increase your bank account, teaching you how those persuasion skills. You go to enhancemententerprises.com, enhancemententerprises.com, or call me at 813-787-6652. 813-787-6652. Go to all my social media platforms, Jarvis El-Amin on Facebook, Jarvis El-Amin on Instagram. I look forward to working with you. I love to come to South Georgia. I love Georgia. It's in my blood, and we're going to empower the people. You can be assured that you will be empowered, leadership, legacy, life. We will uplift you and fill your spirit, and your bank account will change because you'll be inspired and you know how to ask the qualifying questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jarvis El-Amin, my friend, and of course, a marketing and speaker extraordinaire. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for waking up with us on the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Thrift.
All right. Take care. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a short break and let's stay right here. Let's stay right here because, again, we got a little time here before we go to our next speaker. But Jarvis, he hit on a lot of valuable points, Thrift. You and I and Richard, he sees you, but he didn't. I didn't give him your name, however, but don't the deal.
I know.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
The fact of the matter is that, a lot of what we talk about it, and again, this stuff is universal, man. I mean, it might be a different sport, it might be a different company, it might be a different genre of music, but the bottom line is the fundamentals are the fundamentals. And you know what? Again, you've been in front of many rooms, and you know how a lot of programs go. If you feeling it, if you feel the energy in that room, you're gonna make that event that much better.
100%. And you just got to be able to set the tone and bring in all the energy and gravitas that Jarvis El-Amin has. I definitely could learn a lot from him on how to host an event.
And as it relates, guys, to what we do, obviously when you're calling a game, obviously when you're streaming a game, when we're doing a radio broadcast, a podcast, obviously it's the same principles, and again, you have to have, you got to know, have the subject as you're talking about. You got to be, you got to know what you're talking about first and foremost, but then you also have to have some inflections in your voice, and you can't be dry and monotone and no personality. Again, that's what my experience has been.
Yeah, that was a powerful message by Jarvis. Being a motivational speaker, we could take that to practice as broadcasters, because even though our audience is a little bit different, I know that I've had public speaking classes in college where I spoke in front of an audience. I've spoken in front of the audience before, but getting on the radio and speaking to an audience that you can't see, it's a little bit different, but you still apply those same principles to motivational speaking.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, that's right, that's him, Curtis Crowell. Of course, he'll be with us, and again, he's celebrating coming off of his birthday week, and again, he's going to celebrate right on into the 4th of July weekend, man. But Curt Crowell coming up next on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. You're watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Rex Castillo. Here's a look at your morning headlines. A 3-month drug operation in Chambers County led to 66 arrests and 135 charges. Authorities seized a range of narcotics that included meth, fentanyl, and cocaine. Several suspects now face felony trafficking and distribution charges. Meanwhile, in Columbus, trouble is resurfacing at the Ralston downtown. Columbus inspectors cited at least 13 code issues in recent weeks that included AC failures and leaks. The owners say repairs are underway, but concerns echo problems that once led to the building's shutdown. There's good news for 4th of July travelers. Gas prices are dropping. In Auburn, it's as low as $2.54 a gallon. In Columbus, sits around $2.65. With Alabama's average below the national mark, analysts say we may see the cheapest 4th of July fuel since 2021. From WRBL News 3, I'm Rex Castillo. Have a great day, everybody.
Good Wednesday morning. We are starting the day off cloudy and humid with those temperatures in the low 70s. Areas of patchy fog will be possible again across most of the region. And that stalled front that brought in the rain yesterday will keep the rain chances south of Columbus this afternoon and evening. More sunshine towards the north. Temperatures will be near 90 by this afternoon, and that forecast becoming hotter and drier just in time for the 4th of July holiday weekend.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021.
Attorney advertising. Georgia. Attorney 770 Good Law Car Accident Lawyers. Paid after dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
The other day, I seen this dog attack this guy. It was so bad, the dog kept biting him. People was trying to get the dog off the person, but the dog wouldn't let go. Then out of nowhere, this guy comes up and yells, "Top dog!" Dog stopped. He walked away. It was crazy. Know what people were saying? That's the dog. That's Top Dog. Know what I was saying? I was asking, why was he biting him like that? What happened? Then I got the backstory. He just hit somebody down the street, got out his car and started running. Out of nowhere, this dog came running after him, caught him, and started biting him. And it was Top Dog. Couldn't believe it. He was fast. I couldn't believe it. He was big. I couldn't believe it. Any accident, you gotta believe it. Top Dog Law.
Minor League Baseball is back in Columbus. Catch Clingstone's baseball every night on Sportsvisions 92.1. Your home for the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer, the Dan Patrick Show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Discover the 4th of July sale at Target. Save 20% on clothing and swimwear for women, select cookies with Target Circle, and up to 50% off Sun Squad sporting goods. Get ready for a fireworks-worthy celebration with patriotic cookies, fun sports gear, and of course, spectacular fits. The deal's end July 5th, so hurry and get 20% off apparel, select cookies with Target Circle, and 50% off Sun Squad sports gear, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Covering local and national sports. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show on Sportsvisions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Wednesday morning and welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge flying this plane, and you're doing a damn good job. We appreciate you, Rich.
Thank you, DJ. Always, more I do this, the easier it gets. And yeah, definitely getting the hang of it.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I tell you what, I wanted to just kick it up here just a minute before we go to Curt about our friend Jarvis El-Amin, man. He hit on a lot of wonderful points, a lot of things that, and I like to surround myself. I don't like to be the smartest person in the room. I like people that bring extra things to the table, things that, again, that just drop nuggets, man, because, when you stop learning, you stop growing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always about learning and getting experience and being around people that bring value and are successful in their field.
All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him up. The birthday boy from last week, Curtis Crowell. Hey, Coach, happy birthday, man, and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you.
Man, let me tell you something. Obviously, a lot of times, coaches like you go unnoticed, and again, they don't get the light shined on them, or they don't get their flowers publicly on a forum like a radio show or TV show. But I'm going to let you know, I've been knowing you a long time, and obviously this is a treat for me to have you on. This is not your first rodeo, but I want to say to you, thank you for what you do for the youth in our community and what you've done over the years, man. You've been outstanding, even though I know that you don't get a lot of pats on the back, and you don't do it for that. But I want to let people know that you are outstanding, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Coming from somebody like you, I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Coach Crowell, because first of all, when did you really know that it was time to, of course, coach, go out and get and motivate these young people?
Honestly, it's crazy. So I never would have thought I'd be a coach. I never would have. Just sign my kids up to play youth sports, and it was like, we need some coaches. And I started coaching my daughter at the YMCA on Martin Luther King, and just everything else from that blossomed. And as my kids got older, started playing more sports, I just started picking up more sports to coach. And somehow or another, I'm coaching high school now.
Absolutely. I tell you, it's amazing that you do that. But when you talk about some of the influences in your life, obviously, you had some coaches that you kind of probably followed or wanted to be like and emulate. Who were some of those people?
First and foremost, very first coach that I really just looked up to was Tim Marshall. Growing up in Phoenix City, Tim Marshall was the rec director at Spencer Rec. He was my youth football coach. So, I was always around him. Then, he was a cool cat because he had that Kappa cane. So, it was growing up, it was like, okay, I want to be like him. And then, Mike Woods came along as my baseball coach in Phoenix City. And then when I got to Columbus, it was Coach Murray and Coach Green at Rothschild and Coach Oliver Davis at Kendrick. He did a lot for me. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Oliver Davis did a lot for me. Being a troubled kid, I want to graduate without Oliver Davis. Like, I can tell you that right now.
Curtis, you also not just are a big part in the basketball community, and we'll talk about what else you do there. But I did want to bring up the fact that you're the president of Northeastern Seahawks. Is that correct? Because they were the Packers when I played. Holy smokes, 20 years ago, man. Curt. My granddad was. But talk about the Northeast Seahawks and why'd you want to take on this endeavor, man? It's like a full-time job in itself, all the parents you got to deal with. But you do such a great job promoting not only the Seahawks, but the league in general and developing young kids. You call them your babies.
In which it's just another one of them situations. I grew up playing in Phoenix City. And then I started coaching in Columbus at Eastway. And then I got out of coaching when my son made the middle school. And the crazy part about it is I had my apartment complex had burned down, and then a coach that was at Northeast just out the blue one morning just called me, and he had to do it and touch my heart. He said, "Hey, meet me right here." And I met Coach Arnold over there. He had gave me a whole bunch of stuff, and he didn't have to do it for me, and it touched me. And then like a year later, he was like, he texted me, said, "I became a head coach at Northeast. I need your help." I mean, so it was like, I wasn't going to tell him no after what he did for me. And then I came out to Northeast and up on the leadership of Jay Snake. And then he decided to resign to go do other things. And by me being in youth football so long, I took it on. And it's just been a pleasure just being able to see all the youth, just the development. You see the kids from little kids going all the way through high school. Now I'm looking at kids in college that I done touched. And that's amazing.
Coach, it's been a privilege of getting to know you the last couple of years. And when I think of Shaw Athletics, I think of you, Coach, not just as the assistant basketball coach for the Lady Raiders, but you're also working the scoreboard, doing concessions, taking the tickets at the baseball games. Just talk about what it means to be a part of the Shaw community.
So blessings come in different ways. When I was coaching AAU, I didn't have a gym for my program. Coach Julie Fryer, that was the coach at Shaw, she opened her doors for me. And then, you know, with Coach Pellegrino, he was always seeing me. He was like, hey, man, you need to come on staff. You need to come on staff. And I took the job, and it just, with Dr. Suzette Hendricks, Sherelle Hendricks is just an amazing person. And so when I'm a type of person, anything I do, if anybody give me an opportunity, anytime they ask me to do anything for them, if I can do it, I'm going to do it. So if it's sweeping the floor, anything at Shaw High School, they ask me to do it, I'm going to do it because I'm appreciative of the opportunities I have.
Curt Crowell is our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Curt, you know, I don't know if you know Tommy Drew, who he is, and with the Edgewood Red Devils and the legacy that he left behind, but he most recently just passed yesterday. And, man, he was one of the first people that really gave me an understanding of what the game meant from a standpoint. And Dale and I both, we hold, you know, Coach Drew in a high regard, and he was very impactful early on in our lives, and especially on the football side. But, you know, you made mention of some of the kids that you've seen grow up as kids and into college and into being mature adults. That has to have a feeling of, you know, more than money. You know I love money just like you love money, but when you're impacting and changing lives, and you poured into kids from when they were younger, and now they're going off to be successful citizens and successful mothers and fathers. So that has to have an impact on you.
Yes, sir. It makes you feel like job well done. Like as of you had a purpose that you can see a difference. That, you know, I grew up to where your neighbors impacted your life, and that's what the community is missing. With everybody pitching in to help these kids get to the next level, man. No matter who it is, just reach out and touch. So it's much like a missionary to me. So it's a blessing. So I just thank God that I'm able to do it. Put me in position to be able to help kids out.
Curtis, the AAU
sir.
scene in this area, man, you've been in it for a long time. You've helped many girls and boys get and develop and go to the next level. What's your thoughts on how it is in this area? You know, we've had Mike Woods on. He's talked about if we collab more together, maybe had one or two teams in which all the talent in the city played, we'd probably be more successful. What's your mindset? I'm really interested. I do think there's no one more than you or Mike Woods is more ingratiated with this AAU scene. How do you think it is, and how do you think it can be improved in our area?
So I'm going to answer your question, but the first thing I'm going to say is I'm glad I'm out of it. It is a cutthroat culture in this area. You know, I have my AAU coaching background. I started with Mike Woods, and I ventured out and started my own program, and then I merged with the largest program in the world, which is FBC. And that was up under the tutelage of Coach Foster. I've been around Coach Foster, Joe Foster. I've been around Tim Marshall. I've been around Mike Woods.
Right.
I deal with Herman Porter a lot. It is a cutthroat situation in this city. And believe it or not, man, there's a lot of talent in this area. And if everybody could put their nuggets together, it'll be a very, very powerful situation. But, you know, I'm just being honest. You have egos, you have personal feelings, and you just have everybody can't work with everybody. Everybody have different visions, but they all have the same goal. They're trying to see kids get to the next level. So, you know, sometimes you can have 4 or 5 people doing the same thing, and your product be diluted, and it'll be harder on you. And then sometimes you can have 2 people working together and making it better, but everybody's goal is different. You know, with Mike Woods, he has a lot of local kids. Herman Porter, younger kids are local, but his older kids, he have a lot of kids from out of town.
Right.
So there's a little difference. So the product of the service area is different. Not saying that he would not help the local kids, but, you know, It's just what his team dynamics is. But both of them are good people. Tim Marshall, good people. Joe Foster, good people. On any given day, when I had girls in AAU that need a scholarship, I could call any one of them that linked me in with colleges. Every last one of them have helped me got a kid to college. Like even my own daughter. My daughter played for Mike Woods. But the college she's trying to go to, Joe Foster called the coach and got the scholarship for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm different. I talk to them. I deal with them all. So it's about the kids with me. So I'm gonna deal with them all. So I take my personal feelings out of it when it comes to a kid. Because whoever can help me get a kid in college, I'm gonna reach out to.
Coach Crowell, when you talk about unity and you talk about developing friendships and working for the common good of the community, why is it so cutthroat? I mean, that word cutthroat, it can go in a lot of different directions, but I know you threw some things out there. You said ego and this, that, but at the end of the day, who ultimately makes those decisions? Don't the parents decide on? Couldn't the parents make a statement to say, listen, I think that you guys need to work together, or I mean, what? I'm trying to get an understanding, trying to get my hands wrapped around what could we do to get this. And again, it's been a long time and it's never been done. And I know that AAU and all the travel ball stuff has been around since the beginning of time.
But the thing is, I mean to cut you off, it was done. All of them was up on the Blazer umbrella.
Okay.
And egos get up.
Okay.
So when people say unity, if you go back in history, all those people I just named was up under the same umbrella.
Okay. Curt, so for the people that are listening, if you can, put that, give an executive summary of how and when that was and how these people, and again, I know you don't have,
the late 90s, the early 2000s, Mike Woods was on the girls' side, Tim Marshall was on the girls' side with the Blazers, Joe Foster was on the girls' side, Herman was on the boys' side, but all those was up under the Columbus Blazers, up under Tony Adams.
Okay. Now, so we have some semblance, but most people just remember the ugly part of that. And again, as great as Tony Adams was to this community and all of those coaches that you made, obviously, I don't want it to be that it's a lingering situation that everybody think that Tony is an outlaw. Tony is a legend in my mind. And I want just you to expound a little bit more on that so that we can kind of clean that up or help clean that up, because it is what it is. It was a long time ago. It is what it is now. But talk about that time and when it was successful.
So my daughter was part of the last era of Tony where her AAU team had made it to nationals and couldn't go. So to everybody, good, man, it's a great good. He helped out a lot of kids. People couldn't understand the visions and everything he had. And I don't know all in depth of the case and whatsoever, but I know firsthand he helped out a lot of kids. I know that. And I can tell you now, Parks and Recs is not the same as it was. And that's been the hindrance of youth basketball development. The rec centers are not the same as it was when kids was growing up. I know you have two people in Sylvester Selden and Curt Simpson that are trying to get it back now, but for a long time in this area, rec centers was like dormant. Like it just not enticing to kids to go to. And that's been a problem with the youth sports development, because everything starts with your Parks and Recs. And then your Parks and Recs is not great, then we seeing the drop off of when everybody like, oh, the talent not the same. Well, that kid was 4 or 5 years old, the development wasn't there. Because that's when you start developing at 5. You can't develop at 14. You just enhancing.
100%. And I think that's a great point, man. And being in and seeing kind of what's happened now. Like I ran an elementary developmental league. Curtis, you ran a very successful league. Herman Porter obviously has his Porter Sports League. You got other leagues now developing outside of that. But I'm with you. When we grew up, everybody played in one league. And I really think that helped the development, because now everyone's getting to play against top competition. You're getting to play with and getting all the elite coaches in the area. They're not spread out in different leagues. And I'm with you, man. I think that is one thing that's kind of hindered the development part. You've seen it. We've had other guys come on when talking about travel football, how it's different in other parts of the country, and we got to get up to their standard. How do you feel about AAU? Do you feel like basketball in this area needs to be enhanced and we can compete with the Atlantis? Because I think we got the talent. We're just right now kind of struggling with the development part.
So is the compete? They got a bigger pool. And
Right.
also, when you're looking at, they pull from us. A lot of our top kids go to Atlanta for it's just the relationships, like the programs you work for and relationships compared to being a small fish. The reason why I joined the big program in Atlanta, because if I call a college and say I have this kid, they'll talk to me, yeah, they'll look at it, track me. But if that program that has all the top kids in it and that has a lot called, they'll open and say, well, he's a part of my program too. They'll open the eyes up a little bit more compared to you fighting battles and everything about relationships. It's just like life. Everything is about relationships. The development, you can see it. Like, I take this for example. I never take nothing from any coach, but I look at the Hardaway championship team. The person that don't get a lot of credit on it is JT Todd, because I seen when he had those kids at 5 and 6 in Girls Inc. outside on A Street in the gym. Like, the development at 5 and 6, that's why they went to high school like years ahead of everybody.
Good point.
So those type of things matters. But what I learned is the problem with AU is don't nobody want to go down to the babies area where he's at with the Lady Aces. That's where the development is, because everybody got to the exposure area when they walked in the gym. They see all the college coaches. That's the cool age group to coach. But the development start with the babies, and don't nobody want to take the time to go down there with the babies. So that's the issue.
Coach, I do want to talk about Lady Raiders basketball. I've been able to watch you guys, a playoff team, borderline playoff team. It's had some great players go play at the next level, like Tiara Tucker at Albany Tech. It looked like Brooke Shipp getting an offer. And we've seen Bree Snipes go to Columbus State. Just talk about the development of Lady Raider basketball, especially going into a new classification. You'll be in 2A for one more year with 7 of the 8 schools in Muskogee County. Just talk about that competitive nature that Shaw can get back to the playoffs, just playing in a tough region.
We have not even, if it's not the toughest, it's the second outside of the Augusta region. Like, there's no nights off in our region at the top. Like, you talk about Hardaway, you got American Sumter, you got Carver Columbus, all those been state champions in the last 8 years. You got to deal with that. Then you have a hard fighting Spencer team. Like, you can't take nothing off. Like, you have to be prepared. Then even last year, Columbus High was a decent team. You have to be prepared. Now, coming into a situation when I took over high school basketball, when I came on staff, it was down. They was in the state, but we competed, like, and I pride ourselves, like, we got the second 2 best records in the last 20 years of the school. We had a down year this year because we made an adjustment. It's hard when you lose 30-some points a game, but we had 2 juniors that picked up, and then, I mean, from what the people say, we have the best backcourt coming back in the city, with both of them average 15 a game.
Yeah. I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
We were able to see you during the Summer League, man, and I'm telling you, I was excited. I told you that when I saw you. Talk about your relationship with Charlie Marquand. He's the guy that you work with, and y'all do such a great job over at Shaw. Talk about your relationship with him and how important that has been, man.
Coach Marquand is a great person, man. He comes from Chicago, so he got that Midwest flavor. Like, you know, I call it white chocolate because he got a little jump shot and he got the little handles. Like, he's a true guard. And, man, it's just, we're in an area where nobody knows him. So a lot of people, I know I overshot a lot with him, but, man, he's so knowledgeable of the game. Like, it's just his mental about the game, about certain things that he brings to the era that I love. He's just a humble person. Like, man, you can tell he come from humble beginnings and very helpful. And he has helped me in my growth. And just being on staff with him, like, the best part about our situation is, man, when the kids are gone and we end up on the boards and we pulling up film and we dissecting game film together. And, you know, I'm taking defense, he's taking offense, and we swapping over. And when you thinking the same thing and we both writing it down on paper, and then we trade papers to see what the other one think, and we got the same thing on the paper. It's just like it's just the type of things that I like. And he's just a good person, man. He care about the kids. Number one, the biggest thing about him is academically, like he pushes for these kids to strive to be better academically, student athletes.
Coach Crowell, I know that we got some people chiming in on our chat from Facebook, but Adam Jensen said that when the Columbus programs get the money to match Atlanta programs, it's a game changer. He says that we're already competing with Atlanta. Can you answer that?
All about budget. Like, it takes places to go places. Like, right now, the next wave of girls basketball live appearance is July. That's the first stretch is almost 10 straight days. You on the road, you gone. In the month of July alone, it's 31 days, but you probably, if you're playing a true live appearance, you gone 20-some days out the month. So that means you're away from your job, and your kid is living in a hotel or Airbnb for 20-some days, and that's everybody in their program. The financial side, like, everybody ain't blessed like that. The average kid trying to get to college, if their family was blessed like that, they wouldn't be on the road trying to get this scholarship because they could afford it themselves. Like, so you 20-some days away from your household, and you talk about thousands of kids, thousands of people. But in this area here, we made the average program probably taking 4 teams with 12 girls. So you got 48 to 50 girls and coaches on the road in the hotels and Airbnbs for 20-something days in July. And all you're looking at is from fundraisers that you probably can do, or the different type of fees that you charging. Well, you got a live period in April, you got a live period in May. Your funds be depleted. You can't compete with people that dealing with millions and you working with hundreds. Like, so it's enticing to a parent when the person at Atlanta calls and say, hey, all you gotta do is show up. Everything else is covered. So we think that parent gonna go. So that's the hard part about competing, when the deck is stacked against you with financials.
Absolutely. Coach Crowell, we appreciate you joining us this morning on the Sportsvisions Morning Show, man. Hey, look, continue doing what you're doing, man, because you're making a difference. Whether you know it or not, you are making a difference. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it, Curt.
Curt Crowell. Happy birthday, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I tell you, man, again, I love this platform because we hear it. Again, we can go straight to the horse's mouth and get it straight, no chaser. And I love it. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, you talk about a horse's mouth. Roger Shultz, about 30 years ago, he, myself, and a guy by the name of Mike V did sports talk radio in Columbus, Georgia, AM 540, the Sports Monster. Don't go anywhere. Lean in, tell a friend to tell a friend, and text a friend that Roger Shultz will be on the Sportsvisions Morning Show coming up next. You're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Had to get your laundry clean. Didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my side.
This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sportsvisions 92.1.
Corry's Furniture Express, your express way to say.
There's a special deal going on at Corry's Furniture Express. This 4th of July, Corry's is celebrating Independence Day by paying the taxes on any purchase you make inside the store. Any purchase, any amount. Check out their great selection of furniture in stock and ready for you, and that's only at Corry's Furniture. Happy 4th of July from Corry's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now. Without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special only $49.99. Become a non-smoker. That's right. Seminar Wednesday, July 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites at North Lake in Columbus. Stop smoking seminars at 8 p.m. Weight loss seminars at 5:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Celebrate America's birthday all weekend long at Synovus Park as the Columbus Clinkstones battle the Montgomery Biscuits July 4th through the 6th. It all starts Friday with a red, white, and boom kind of night. A dazzling post-game fireworks display presented by Piedmont Health. On Saturday, the first 1,000 fans 21 and over score a free Clinkstones floppy hat courtesy of Cutwater. And kids can run the bases after the game thanks to Wood's Frozen Custard. Sunday wraps it up with 706 Day Fuzzy's Kids Club. Get your tickets now at clinkstones.com.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
Visit operationhomefront.org to learn more.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AIRPORT25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AIRPORT25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AIRPORT25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Your home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge. Good Wednesday morning. It's hump day. Man, we've made it all downhill from here. Hey, big shout out to all of the folks that are listening out there. Miss Katie Lowe Jones, Miss Debbie Crowell, and of course, Adam Denson. They're on the scene. And again, we appreciate them listening and tuning in as we do. All of the other folks out there that maybe not are engaging on our Facebook page, but also if you also want to come, I want to call in and leave a word or give us a shine a light on something that you think is impressive. 706-324-1420 is the number to call. Well, I'll tell you, man, it was great to hear from Curtis Crowell. And I tell you, man, when you go into the community, you get information that only the community knows. And he was able to come back and share it with the Sports Visions Nation. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I do too. And I think it's awesome what he's been able to build and create and done over his life and developing and training many athletes. And remember his son, Cam, we didn't even talk about that. No. Cam Crowell, who went on to play at Northern Illinois, was great at Carver. He's just been a great leader in this community, especially in youth sports, and I appreciate him.
And the great Jarvis El-Amin, of course, the motivational speaker and the hottest MC on this side of the Mississippi. He was able to drop some wonderful nuggets on our Sports Visions Nation earlier this morning. I tell you, Richard, I really enjoyed that talk.
Yeah, you know that MC, we know it as Master of Ceremonies. MC also means move the crowd. That was Eric B. and Rakim.
All right, now, hey, well, look, Rich, drop something on us, man.
Come on, man.
All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him up. This guy and I started doing radio back in sports talk radio, in particular, back in 1997 with a guy by the name of Mike V. This guy in particular is a former Alabama great. And again, he's lost a whole human being in once upon a time. And of course, over 150 some odd. We'll hear about that. But Roger Shultz, welcome to the Sports Visions Morning Show, my friend. How are you doing? Roger, you there? Can you hear me, brother? Can't hear you. We're talking to you, Raj.
Gonna have to take it off screen, Rich.
Take him off, Rich, and we got to figure it out how we're gonna get him back. Thrift, how we gonna get him back?
Yeah, we're gonna have to just text him something's going on where he's just unable to hear us. It's something setting on maybe his computer or whatever, but he is not able to hear us. We may have to give him a text here and see if we can't get that fixed here in just a second.
Absolutely, we'll do that. But in the meantime, in between time, again, going back to Roger, going back to Jarvis El-Amin for that matter, when we talk about him, Rich, again, this just having control. These are things that you should know. These are things that are fundamental. Can we hear you? Can you hear me now? How about Roger? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, man. I tell you, we went to you, but we couldn't hear you. But unfortunately,
I'll tell you right now, Roger, for just future reference on StreamYard, it gives you a setting on your computer. You sometimes got to go to that setting where it says audio and make sure your audio is connected to your headset. Sometimes there'll be, internally with a computer if you don't change that setting.
No,
so that's nothing what's happening.
Well, that's exactly what's happened to me. Can you hear me though?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you, and you're looking good, Raj. I tell you, man. Hey, I was saying, you had lost 150 pounds or something. You lost a whole human being. I mean, how long ago was that?
That was 2008.
Okay.
164 pounds.
Wasn't that on some television show or some kind of program?
Yeah, I was on the contestant on The Biggest Loser.
Okay. Now we got it. Okay. Yeah. I said it. I didn't say it all buttoned up like that, but they got my point. Hey man, welcome to the Sports Vision Morning Show. We appreciate you joining us, man. And almost 30 years ago, man, you and I bet down on Broadway with a guy by the name of Mike V, man, and boy, did we have fun.
Man, we had a great time. I mean, it was think about it, man. That was kind of the start of the sports talk industry. We were the first local sports talk off station, right? WDAK, the sports monster. And on 740, and I know Scott Miller had been doing some stuff, but it wasn't like he was just on a news talk station, kind of did a sports show, but we're the first all sports station. And it was interesting. It was fun. I'll never forget, that I was made like the general manager of the sports station.
Yes.
And Mike V was the programming director.
Yep.
And Mike V was talking to me one day. He goes, "You know what?" And I said, "Well, I think I'm the general manager." He goes, "You're the general manager? You're the general manager? I quit." I said, I don't even know what the hell a general manager is. That better than you? I had no clue. V was the old radio guy, and but it was great. I mean, it was kind of fun. I mean, just kind of trying to get it started there. I thought we did a great job. You guys did the afternoon, I did the morning. Remember, I had a guy named Scotty Price with me.
Yeah. And
then we went with G-Man. Remember G-Man?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Scotty Price didn't so it's when you look back at it, Alan Woodall, I guess, I don't know, is Alan Woodall, he was the owner of the station.
He's still around. Around. Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So he gave us the opportunity. I bet you 30 years later, he didn't think me and you'd still be doing this thing.
Probably not. But no, he was great for us, man. And I tell you, the group that I work with now, they're just the same, man. Jimbo Martin, PMB Broadcasting, afforded me an opportunity to start this all sports talk radio show or station, Sports Visions 92.1. And of course, I had Mike V on yesterday. And again, gone full circle because the guy to my right, your left, is Thrift Barringer. He was normally on the board, but of course, we're baptizing Richard Holdridge, who you see up behind the board. Just got some extremely great, talented young men here in this community, man. And again, it's just nothing like when we started. We were the only three guys that had enough nerves. I almost said testicles to get on the radio and talk sports. However, it's just a great place to be. Of course, growing up in my hometown, and then having the opportunity to, of course, be around here for almost 30 years in the business, and of course, to start Sportsvisions, man. And it all started with us, man, doing what we do and taking our experiences, you from the University of Georgia and all the University of Alabama, and all the great things that you had been exposed to there. Me from University of Georgia. Mike is the common, rude northerner sports fan, rude. But we made it work, and that was a great thing. What you got going now, Raj? Obviously, you're over in, is it Mobile?
Yeah, I'm living in Mobile, Alabama now. I still dabble a little bit in radio, and obviously the podcasting thing is something that I've been a lot of people trying to encourage me to do, and it's better now because at the end of the day, when you were talking, when you do a year-long sports show, sometimes you get sports you're not really interested in or have to talk about, but yet college football in the South is basically it's a year-round. Especially with everything that's just happened recently. With us NIL and the court case, the thing coming out of Washington. So there's a lot of stuff. It's crazy, but I'm living in Mobile. I work for Republic Services. We're a environmental solutions company. Basically, we haul garbage, but but I've been doing that now almost 10 years, but I still do the radio stuff. And, I'm on a local program here once a week. And so still keep my toe in the water, so to speak. So it's fun. I love it. I love radio. I've always loved radio.
What got you
podcasting or whatever we're doing? Just
right. What got you into doing radio? What made you want to be a broadcaster and stuff? If you played at the highest level, but then why'd you want to translate that into media?
Well, it's interesting. I think probably I would have stuck to coaching. I was a GA on the Alabama's national championship team in 1992, and I probably would have stuck to coaching. But all my coaches are like, "Man, you got a great personality, and dude, you need to go sell something." Because guys that were getting out working in medical sales, making $100,000, and the offensive line coach at Alabama was making $55,000. He's like, "Don't go into coaching, go into sales." And so I kind of did that, and I was always good with the media when I was at Alabama, and so I guess the natural progression to sports, this emerging industry, the sports talk thing happened as I was getting out of school, and I ended up doing a syndicated. That's how I ended up in Columbus. We were doing a syndicated prognostication show. It's called the Two-Team Teaser. It was me, a guy named Terry Henley, who was an Auburn football player, and a guy named Matt Coulter. And it was a 1 hour during football season. We just kind of talked about the SEC and did our predictions against the line and all that kind of, did a little betting show, hence the name Two-Team Teaser. But so WDAK carried it, or it carried it on one of the states, 740. Somebody carried it down there, and we were down visiting, and the guy's like, "Hey, I'm starting a sports station. Would you be interested?" And at the time, I'd just gotten laid off from a job. So, man, I didn't have a job. So there was this opportunity, and I thought, man, this would be great. I love it. I didn't, you can make money doing this. We found out we couldn't really make money, but we enjoyed doing it. But, so that's how I ended up getting into it. I did the local there. I ended up moving to Tuscaloosa. The guys that own the rights to Alabama athletics, owned a radio station. And I went up there to be the sports director and do an afternoon show. And then I ended up in Montgomery, and I was supposed to do a show with Jim Fife, the voice of the Auburn Tigers. That was the incentive to go to Montgomery. But in between me taking the job and me starting the job, the company got bought out by Cumulus. And so for some reason, Fife had to move on. I had contractual obligation or whatever. He had to leave. So that's when I got stuck, and I didn't have a host. And I said, "Well, Mike V, do you want to do it?" Mike V was over in Columbus. I was with you, DJ.
Yeah.
And so he came over, and we started a morning show, and we rattled that town up with our show. It was fun. It was a good time. And then I got out of it and went to, I had to make some money, so I ended up getting out of it. But I always did a syndicated show called Two-Team Teaser that was syndicated everywhere. With Stan White and I did a show on Sunday afternoons because nobody had a show on Sunday afternoons. And so about 2000, I started that show, the Two-Team Teaser with Stan White, just recapping, Alabama, Auburn, and SEC games, and on Sunday afternoons. And it was it went over well. And I did a morning show in Mobile, Alabama. That's how I ended up in Mobile, Alabama. Initially, it was to start a morning show, to come down here and join a morning show, not start it, but join a morning show. And that ended up whatever, things happen. So, but, I've been in Columbus. I was at Columbus State there for a couple of years in 2013 to 15, in athletics. Because my background I ended up going into Troy University and being a college administrator in athletics. So that's but it's been good, man. It's amazing to see how this industry's changed and everything now with podcasting and stuff. I mean, what a great, concept and everything. And now you guys are over the air and podcasting, right?
All of the above.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Roger, I do want to talk about Columbus as a sports market. It is very unique because you got a mixture of just about everything. It's in the heart of college football. It's also a military town. So you have the sports fans that come from all over the world being at Fort Benning. Just talk about when you're doing sports talk radio in Columbus, how important is it to try to get a mixture of just about everything to appease to not only your local college football fans in Columbus, but also to your military audience at Fort Benning?
Yeah, it is interesting because you do get all those people in that pro sports. Look, if you're anywhere else in the South, you really don't have to concentrate on pro sports. Nobody has a favorite. I guess Columbus likes the Falcons. I would assume, it's like down here in Mobile, it's like, well, we kind of like the Saints, right? People are passionate about the Saints, but the following's not very big. But when you get a military town and you get all those people coming in, man, you get those I can just remember those diehard Green Bay. Those crazy Green Bay fans and stuff, and everybody coming down. You got to be sharp. But what it does, it makes for entertaining sports content. You can definitely fill a show. There's a lot of things to talk about, but then you'll get people, obviously I'm passionate about college football. So I have a tendency to lean that way, but I do love pro football. I follow all the guys that, played at Alabama, or our favorite guys in the SEC that went on and played college football. I like to follow them, but Columbus is, everything we always did, if we ever had a remote, we always had strong support or really lively crowds, and people got into it, were passionate, had a lot of great, we did a lot of callers then. I don't know if you guys take callers or not or what, but we were always like caller driven, and some, made some stars out of some. Ray
from Milwaukee.
Ray from Milwaukee. Yeah, he ended up being he ended up being a caller to being on the show. So,
Ray.
Yeah, old Ray, man, he was special, man.
Why don't we do this? Let's spend a few moments. And again, we've already gotten 15 minutes into this interview, but I want to spend a few moments talking about your playing days at Alabama. And I know you are an Atlanta boy from coming out of a high school there in the metro area. But the teams that you played and the people that remember you, for the folks that don't, go ahead and let them know exactly what era and who did you play for and all that good stuff.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I know it. I know. I don't have to look at a cheat sheet. I got this off the top of my head. I went to Peachtree High School in it's in Dunwoody, Georgia, North Atlanta. And by the way, T. McFerrin, who's one of the greatest high school football coaches ever in the state of Georgia, just passed away, was my high school coach as a ninth grader. And then Dave Hunter, who's a legendary high school coach, ended up taking over. So I played for T. McFerrin and Coach Hunter when I was in high school. Went to Alabama in 1986. I was a class of 86. I got to play in the Florida-Georgia All-Star game. The second annual Georgia-Florida All-Star game, which was pretty cool. But I went to Alabama in 86, and I went under there with Ray Perkins. So I played for Coach Perkins, Coach Corry, and Coach Stallings.
Wow.
And then I ended up staying 2 years as a GA with Coach Stallings. We won the national championship in 92, won the SEC in 89, played in the Sugar Bowl, played against Miami. And it was interesting I was a center, and I played against two number one draft picks, Russell Maryland and Cortez Kennedy. One was to my right and one was to my left. So that tape made it around the NFL, and I didn't make it to the NFL. So I think those guys should give me some money. I kind of helped them get a good first round pick. But so that's when I was at the University of Alabama. I had a lot of success. Was a 4-year starter. Started 44 games and was a freshman All-American, freshman All-SEC, honorable mention All-American. At Alabama, which means absolutely nothing. If I was at Ole Miss, man, I'd be in the Hall of Fame. But at Alabama, I'm in the bathroom. I'm on the third stall. So, but that's how it goes when you're a Bama guy. And now Coach Saban comes along, and I used to tell everybody I was a part of the national championship team, and then Saban came along and kind of ruined that because everybody's like, which one? I was like, well, none of these. But that's so that's kind of my playing history at the University of Alabama. But played with a lot of great, players. Obviously Derek Thomas, Cornelius Bennett, Mike Shula was our quarterback. Because everybody always asks, and I told this to AJ McCarron one time. So I know AJ's dad, and AJ's dad and I, when he was a redshirt freshman, it's a spring practice. We went over. I just moved to Mobile doing the show, and he and I went to practice, and we're sitting down eating dinner somewhere, and I remember telling AJ, I said, look, man, most of these guys' careers are going to be based on how you perform, because if anybody wants to, without asking me what years you played, they go, who was your quarterback? Right. And so you have to tell, and that kind of puts you in a place. So that's how it's crazy, but that's how people remember. But now when you look at with the NIL and all the money these stupid quarterbacks are getting, my God, it's, you know what I'm saying? But it's true, because that's how everybody goes, well, were you there? I said, well, Mike Shula was one of my quarterbacks. David Smith, who's an SEC official, was a quarterback of mine. I came in with Billy Ray, who was out of Atlanta, Dunwoody, Georgia, which was a crow's fly from my high school. That was the number one quarterback prospect. And he was there, but he never got a chance to play. But Vince Sutton from LaGrange.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Vince?
Yeah.
Vince was a play quarterback when I was there. Gary Hollingsworth played quarterback. Jay Barker came in towards the end of my career. So, that's how I try and tell everybody, but it's always kind of based on who the quarterback was. And I told AJ McCarron that, and it's true, but AJ probably one of the most successful as far as coaches. Quarterbacks at Alabama is pretty impressive resume that he has.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Roger, and since we're on college football, I got to ask, man, because last year Alabama obviously didn't have the year they wanted to. You beat after the Georgia game, there was a lot of momentum, and then the Vanderbilt was one of the all-time lows in the last couple of seasons, maybe last 10 years. But what's your thought on Kalen DeBoer? Because we hear a lot of Alabama fans coming out. They're so tired of him. They're making fun of the fact that he wears T-shirts on the sideline, that they think that's unprofessional. And if he was winning, I don't think that would be a big deal. So what's your thought on DeBoer, and do you think he could actually do a good job replacing Nick Saban for a long time?
Well, look, nobody's going to replace Nick Saban at Nick Saban's level. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I know Alabama, you kind of reload, right, basically, and I think DeBoer's done a good job. The fact that he didn't lose anybody in the spring portal, no transfers, I think that says a lot. I don't know, is that good or bad, right? Is he a player's coach, or is he going to do a little bit of discipline? So it kind of makes me nervous, right? Like, no player left. Well, are you being hard on him? Are you too soft on him? And even DeBoer kind of admits that he was a little bit easy on the guys, or I guess wasn't so tough on them. But he's got to overcome that. But obviously at Alabama, man, you got to win. And I think that's what he's got to do. I think he's going to do it. I think I'm excited about the season coming up. They're kind of flying under the radar, right? Nobody's really picking them. Everybody's still picking Georgia to win the SEC. And even Georgia, Georgia won the SEC last year, right?
Right.
And nobody, and everybody goes, well, did they? I thought Texas, it's like, like people forget. But that's how great Georgia has become, is that the fact that they can win an SEC championship and nobody really knows they won an SEC championship. But because the standard's so high, right? The expectation is just like at Alabama, you got to win national championships. And that's what we expect from Kalen DeBoer. Hopefully he can, I think he's a little goofy. I think when he changed his office, like, I would have never changed Saban's office. I would have never. But he can't, he changed it and looks like a cell phone store. But from that nice oak, and I don't know, whatever. But it's what kids are different today too. I couldn't imagine being in high school getting $300,000 to play college football. I was just so happy to get a scholarship and get my meals paid for. So it's hard to wrap my head around it. I never thought I'd be that guy, but I think I'm that guy.
I tell you what, Roger, you mentioned 300,000, but you got a young wide receiver by the name of Ryan Williams, who was bringing in about $2.7 million in NIL funds, man. And that's enough money to take care of the rest of the team for the rest of the year.
Well, no, absolutely. I don't know if he's sharing it with him, but I know one thing: he needs to be in the weight room instead of always on social media. It's like he goes from one influencer to another. It's like, and he's painting his nails, and I don't get it.
He been at the Kardashians' home, huh?
Yeah, I know. He's just everywhere. It's like, what are you doing? Hey, can we play some football? Or do you just want to be an influencer? Or you want to play football? Because at the end of the day, the better you play football, the longer your influence is going to be. I'm just going to say, and maybe that's a hard reality of balancing that, but I don't fault him for getting what he can get. I would have loved to have had any guy. I mean, we had a guy, but I tell you what's interesting when this NIL thing came by, and Coach, obviously one of the reasons Saban's out of it is because I don't think he could manage it or whatever. But Bryce Young, when he was the quarterback at Alabama, when the NIL first came out, he was going to sign all these deals, and Saban said, "Don't sign those deals yet." He said, "Sign a couple of them, get some money in your pocket, but just wait till the end of the season, because one, you hadn't started yet." This is before he was just the quarterback at Alabama. He hadn't even, I don't think he'd won a game yet. And he said, "Just hold on." So he waits. He ends up winning the Heisman Trophy. Well, guess what his NIL value did? And guess what? Now he's signing bigger. Saban was smart enough to guide the guy in the right direction. So he waited till the end of the season. Now he's a Heisman Trophy winner, and Alabama wins the national championship and whatever. And now all of a sudden, that's a whole different deal. Or played for the national championship. I don't remember if they won it or not. I don't know if he'd won it, but it made a different deal. So Saban was good at guiding. Saban has always been good at guiding his players, whether they go to the NFL or not go to the NFL. But I think once they're making more than the position coaches, that's kind of crazy.
Roger Shultz is our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Roger, before we get out of here, I want to ask you this, because again, the Walter Camp preseason All-American team has been named, and of course Ryan Williams, as we talked about, the receiver, the outstanding sophomore receiver, but junior tackle, offensive tackle, Caden Proctor, how good is that guy?
I think he's gotten better and better. It took a lot of heat as a freshman, but my gosh, when you're a big old left tackle, he had a big body. You seen that body of his?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get in there and, as a freshman and be the left tackle and play. I thought he played it good. I thought the main thing is he got better through his freshman year. Then he transferred or whatever. He's going to go to Iowa, but he came back and he tore his labrum. So he played with a hurt labrum all last year, but I thought the guy's outstanding. But, everything coming back is the offensive line is going to be good. And I'm excited that Ty Simpson kind of stayed around. He's kind of it's a different approach, right? He's a guy that stayed. I hope that he has success because he stayed around.
Yeah.
Paid his due. He just didn't transfer somewhere else. He believes in being at the University of Alabama. And, that's kind of refreshing. So we'll see how it pays off for him, but it's a good quarterback room. I mean, that Keelan Russell guy is supposed to be, everything I hear, he's going to be phenomenal. So this might be Ty Simpson's only year, but hopefully it's a good one. But that offensive line is, by Pro Football Focus, is rated like the #1 returning offensive line in the country.
Good deal. Roger, before you get out of here, let everybody know if they want to catch up with you on social media or if they want to hear one of your programs. Why don't you give that information now?
Well, I'm on social media. I have a Twitter account. I think it's Roger Shultz. I don't know what it is. But I do have one. So, yeah, you can follow me there. I don't put a whole lot on there. I mean, I'm not really social media savvy. That's probably why I'm falling down the line. And, but it's okay. I don't mind. But I'm out there. You can find me.
All right. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure to catch back up with you, man. Hey, don't be a stranger. We got to stay in touch, man. It ain't many guys that go back, 25, 30 years.
No, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. I'll definitely make a time, stop in and see you.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right. Appreciate it, DJ.
All right. Roger Shultz, one of the all-time great linemen from the University of Alabama, doing his thing over in Mobile. Hey, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to have the director of the San Mark Foundation Youth Basketball Camp, Coach Corry Black. He'll be on to talk and give us all the information about this camp, and it's filling up fast. You're watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Rex Castillo. Here's a look at your morning headlines. A 3-month drug operation in Chambers County led to 66 arrests and 135 charges. Authorities seized a range of narcotics that included meth, fentanyl, and cocaine. Several suspects now face felony trafficking and distribution charges. Meanwhile, in Columbus, trouble is resurfacing at the Ralston downtown. Columbus inspectors cited at least 13 code issues in recent weeks that included AC failures and leaks. The owners say repairs are underway, but concerns echo problems that once led to the building shutdown. There's good news for 4th of July travelers. Gas prices are dropping. In Auburn, it's as low as $2.54 a gallon. In Columbus, sits around $2.65. With Alabama's average below the national mark, analysts say we may see the cheapest 4th of July fuel since 2021. From WRBL News 3, I'm Rex Castillo. Have a great day, everybody.
Good Wednesday morning. We are starting the day off cloudy and humid with those temperatures in the low 70s. Areas of patchy fog will be possible again across most of the region. And that stalled front that brought in the rain yesterday will keep the rain chances south of Columbus this afternoon and evening. More sunshine towards the north. Temperatures will be near 90 by this afternoon, and that forecast becoming hotter and drier just in time for the 4th of July holiday weekend.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
Hey there, fellow travelers. It's me, the Hotel Whiz. Before you go anywhere, call me day or night for hotel rates too low to publish. I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe. You see, I've already done the research, so you don't have to spend time online trying to find the best deal. That's up to 75% off. Just call me, the Hotel Whiz. It's a free call, and you get instant access to rates too low to publish with no cancellation fees.
Make a free call now and save up to 75% off your hotel rooms the next time you're going somewhere for business or pleasure. Call the Hotel Whiz now and get instant access to rates too low to publish.
800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. Call the Hotel Whiz right now at 800-710-3739.
Celebrate America's birthday all weekend long at Synovus Park as the Columbus Clinkstones battle the Montgomery Biscuits July 4th through the 6th. It all starts Friday with a red, white, and boom kind of night. A dazzling post-game fireworks display presented by Piedmont Health. On Saturday, the first 1,000 fans 21 and over score a free Clinkstones floppy hat courtesy of Cutwater. And kids can run the bases after the game thanks to Wood's Frozen Custard. Sunday wraps it up with 706 Day Fuzzy's Kids Club. Get your tickets now at clinkstones.com.
Corry's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
There's a special deal going on at Corry's Furniture Express. This 4th of July, Corry's is celebrating Independence Day by paying the taxes on any purchase you make inside the store. Any purchase, any amount. Check out their great selection of furniture in stock and ready for you, and that's only at Corry's Furniture. Happy 4th of July from Corry's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
If your family's summer style needs a little pick-me-up, you've got to go to Kohl's. They have everything from polos and cute dresses to comfy kids outfits and Sephora essentials, plus more. Not to mention, you can get 20% off some of your faves and earn Kohl's cash. Yep, summer's already looking more stylish, all thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends July 6th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
Minor League Baseball is back in Columbus. Catch Clinkstones Baseball every night on Sportsvisions 92.1. Your home for the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer, The Dan Patrick Show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and The Paul Feinbaum Show. You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge in the building. Big shout out to Jarvis El-Amin, man. He started out the program and set us on fire with all those motivational tips and little things that you don't even think about. But when you command the presence of a room as a speaker, as an MC, he was able to elaborate and talk about, to expound on some of those topics, Thrift, and I just wanted the Sports Vision Nation to be aware of that. But they, because some of them and most of the people out there just, when they're at an event, or they probably just don't think about, the makeup or the production that goes into an event, and they know that somebody comes up and welcomes them to the room, or somebody is basically introducing the program. But those are the hosts and the MCs, and they have impact, and not just the speaker. And again, when the speaker is there, his job is to obviously, as we say, hit it and quit it. But he's also there to capture the imagination of those in the audience and make sure that they're impactful in their message. And again, Jarvis was able to give us a lot of great nuggets on those points.
I think that is a great point, DJ, and I've been really impressed by him, and he kind of set the tone for the value of an MC for a good event.
Shout out to Curt Crowell as well, who obviously, again, he took us back. Curt has been working diligently in the community, working with our young people for a long, long time, but went back to the old days of the Georgia Blazers, and again, how great a program and how unified everything was once upon a time, but now it's every man for himself. Roger Shultz, you just heard him. He's the great Alabama. One of our, again, we go back almost 30 years in sports talk radio, starting it here in Columbus. I didn't realize that, but Roger put the stamp on it, talking about me, him, and Mike V, having the only local live and local sports talk show back in the day, and starting it here in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah, he was. I can tell he had a lot of fun with him and Mike V. You think you're better than me?
All right, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring up the director of the Sandmark Foundation Dream and Achieve Youth Basketball Camp, and that's none other than Coach Corry Black. How are you? Good morning, Coach.
Morning. How y'all doing today?
Real good, man. Real good. I know you've had a wonderful summer, and again, you've been on some beaches that we can't even pronounce the name of, man, but you're doing your thing, man.
Yeah, that sounds good. The only beach I've been to is Emmanuel Prep Beach.
That's right. Well, he is the Dean of Scholars. But hey, man, listen, this is we're approaching camp season for the Sandmark, and this is over 20 years that, again, I guess it blows my mind. And when I think about it, I got a phone call from Mark Upshaw, and he and Sam wanted to put a camp together and wanting me to help him out, and we were able to do so. And of course, that what led to you and myself and you and coming together as a member of that staff. And now, 20 years later, you are the director and running things, and you have a great camp going. It's unbelievable, man. That it's been 21 years.
Yeah, it is unbelievable, DJ. I think it's probably the city take it for granted, because I don't know of many free camps like this going on for 7-8 hours a day with a free all you can eat lunch included in it, with some of the people that's coming in to speak and some of the coaches that are giving back. It's almost unheard of. I hadn't came across another camp that's free that's been going on for 21 years. So just a blessing to Sam and Mark and their staff and them giving back to our community.
Coach, I heard that you were going to start an AAU program and that you were going to be traveling every weekend. Is this rumor true? I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I'm not.
I'm not messing.
I like my weekends.
I'm messing with everyone, man. That is the last thing that Coach Black is going to want to do right now. But this Sam Mitchell camp, when it first started, it was the who's who, and it still is. If you're a top player in this area, doesn't matter if you're a senior not playing in this, then those games at night, the all-star game, you were a top basketball player. You played in the Sam Mitchell camp that has turned into Sam Mark. Talk about the growth of the camp and it now getting back to CSU and having over 250 kids, the free meal, everything that encompasses, man. It's just really good for this city.
Yeah, it is a really good camp, Thrift. And you talk about some of the better players. I think we are getting back to getting more quality players in the camp and making it competitive. And that starts with the high school coaches sending their players to the camp and just believing it. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be pushing your whole team.
Right.
I was at Patelli. My whole team didn't have a choice. If you weren't playing football, well, you going to camp. And probably when you got out of football practice, you still had to come to camp. But it's just another opportunity to get better and be exposed to some really high-level people.
Coach Black, when you talk about a camp of this magnitude, 21 years, so, it's hard to do stuff for 20 minutes, much less, 20 days, but 20 years, man. I mean, what was the staying power? What made everything stay together for so long?
I just think what made it stay together is just Mark and Sam just wanting to do it every year. I just think it just keep going back. I'm pretty sure they had some times where they were like, no, we're not going to do it this year. No, the community, city may not support it, but I think just in their heart, you can't run from your heart in some things, and their heart, this is what their heart want to do every year, so they just keep doing it.
Coach, talk about the staff that helps support this Say Mark camp, not just you and Sam Mitchell and Mark Upshaw. What are some of the other coaches that help out with this camp?
Yeah, so every year is different, Richard. Staff different. I try to give different people opportunity to come help us this year. We'll have, I think, Kelly Ellison Hardaway, state champion coach, will come help us. Brian Thomas will help us, state champion coach, will help us. We always have Courtney Pritchard from Auburn High come help us. And so it's just a variety of different people that's helping us, but we try to add a couple new people every year to the mix.
The camp is co-ed, and I don't know if that's been emphasized, but definitely, have female as well as the male young boys and young girls. But talk about, that part of it, again, because I think that, that's a hidden gem with having the female version of it.
Yeah, it is a hidden gem, DJ, and that's why I always look at our female numbers every day, making sure we getting our females to take advantage of this opportunity, because we do have some of the best girls coaches in the area that's been going to be giving back to them and making them better. So, again, it is co-ed, and we are always making sure that my goal is to have 100 boys and 100 girls every year, try to keep it even.
One of your biggest strengths, Coach, is finding talented people and then getting them to buy into your vision and want to come and basically be under you and work with you and work with the school you're at. Zach Cochran's commenting right now. We know what he's meant to Pacelli with the soccer and flag football, but you did that at Pacelli. You're having to do it now in a different capacity with teachers instead of coaches at Emmanuel Prep. You do it with the camp. What do you say to people that in leadership role when you're trying to find someone that wants to be a part of the team that, yes, is talented, but also is not a cancer and doing it for themselves? How do you differentiate, and what's your advice to people that are trying to find, as they're growing their team?
Yeah, I would say just look at their heart. Look at their heart. Look at some of the things they do, because they'll show you where their heart is. I just think it's all about looking at their heart and see if this is what they're really passionate about doing. And I'll tell you the first thing, they start talking about money. If money comes up in the first 5 minutes of the conversation, they're chasing a dollar, and it's probably not going to work. In most of these leadership stuff, you got to find servant leaders. Most servant leaders not chasing a dollar.
It's interesting that you said that, and I want to make sure that we make it absolutely perfectly clear. It's easier to say it than done. Some people are comfortable enough in their finances and that they don't have to mention money, but there's others out there that they need it. And again, I think understanding the character of the person, because that's important as well when you because again, and we had a speaker on that started out, or at least a guest on earlier in the show, to talk about establishing your value. And of course, when you establish your value, people don't come at you wanting everything for free. They know, and they have budgets, but they still try to take advantage of you. So I think, Coach, let's back up and go at that again with regards to, when people mention money, and it's like I said, you got to know who the character, the guy or the girl that you're dealing with, and to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think money is a big deal in the conversation. But when you're trying to get a job or a position, I don't think money should come up in the first 5 minutes of the conversation. That's the part I was getting to.
Yeah.
I just think you need to sell yourself. Tell me what you can bring to the team. Sell your value, and then at the end, let's talk about what's the cost, how much I'm gonna get paid, and that kind of stuff. But I think first, just sell yourself. Show your value, and then I think the money part would be the easier part of the conversation.
Absolutely. Speaking of money, here we are, and again, you've made mention of it, but a camp that probably sold out in the next 24 hours. If I'm, if you're checking the online, if you go into online to get one of these 200 spots for this camp, but these guys do it absolutely free, and they do that because, first of all, they're able to. And the other part about it is you got some community partners that, that believe in their cause and their mission. And they've been supporting them for these 20 years. So those are the things, those are the factors that, because people say, how can he do it for free? How can, yes, it is absolutely. It wouldn't have cost the kids a dime.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, DJ. And that's the great point. These guys are blessed. They got money. They can come back and give back to the community. And they got some good sponsors that's collaborating with them to help them be able to do this. So at the end of the day, how can they do it for free? Because they got some money.
I got to ask, Coach, it's the summertime and obviously right now, just like other admins, you kind of have to find teachers. Which one's harder? Finding dedicated teachers that sorry, Coach, are a little bit more crucial to the development of a kid than coaching a sport. How hard is that finding those than it was trying to find elite coaches when you were at Pacelli and other places?
Yeah, it's probably a little harder and it's harder to find a really good teacher. I've been blessed at Emmanuel Prep that I get to return my whole staff and add to it this year, which is almost unheard of in a school. Most of the time you're gonna lose some staff members, but here at Emmanuel Prep, we're returning our whole teacher staff, which is unbelievable because people don't want to teach. You know what I mean? It's the most underappreciated, underpaid job in the world. So I would say it's a little harder, Thrift, to find a passionate teacher versus finding that passionate coach.
Coach, now that you're in administration, still have that passion for athletics, as Emmanuel Prep has a cross-country middle school team. How's that going? And is there going to be a possible future sports at Emmanuel Prep?
Yeah, it's going. We'll get started here after the 4th of July, Thrift, with practice and get ready for our circuit that we're on with Calvary, Pacelli, and St. Luke and others. But yeah, that's going good. And we'll return our basketball team that we had for the last 2 years. And we'll probably add soccer to the mix this year.
Awesome. Awesome indeed. When we talk about registration for this camp, obviously people want to know, and I know registration day opened up yesterday, but if you would elaborate a little bit on how people can get involved if they want to have their kids signed up for this camp.
Yeah, no question. And they need to get signed up pretty quick, DJ. You go to sammarkfoundation.org. And that's where you can sign up, start at age 8 to 18. Boys and girls, go to Sam Mark Foundation, SAMmarkFoundation.org. Sign up today. I'm telling you, this camp probably will sell out today. This is a really, 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 really fun camp. And people take advantage of it, and just sign up today. I'm just telling you, I can see it selling out any hour.
Coach, before we let you go, I know that we talked about you and Mark and Sam, but there's some other people on the staff that that works diligently over the years. Why don't you share that with them? I know we lost one diligent guy that was a big part of what you guys do, but if you would, that inner circle of staff that has been with you guys for the long time.
Yeah, the rest in peace. Carrie Sarda was a really good friend of mine and really valuable part of what we did in the camp, and we honor him every year with the award to a camper. You have Demi that runs the operations, and you have Mark Daughters that really do a fantastic job, and you have Gil Williams that helps us a lot too with some of our operation stuff. And those are the main day-to-day people. I think you got Bruce Bacon that helps go out there in the community and helps us a little bit too. So really good circle. It takes a whole team to make this work, but it's really fun every year and rewarding to do it every year.
All right, Coach, before you go ahead and give that website out again if they want to sign up.
It's sammarkfoundation.org. sammarkfoundation.org. For girls and boys, ages 8 to 18, sign up today. It will sell out.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great day, fellas.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Corry Black. Hey, look, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
Hey there, fellow travelers. It's me, the Hotel Whiz. Before you go anywhere, call me day or night for hotel rates too low to publish. I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe. You see, I've already done the research, so you don't have to spend time online trying to find the best deal. That's up to 75% off. Just call me, the Hotel Whiz. It's a free call, and you get instant access to rates too low to publish with no cancellation fees.
Make a free call now and save up to 75% off your hotel rooms the next time you're going somewhere for business or pleasure. Call the Hotel Whiz now and get instant access to rates too low to publish.
800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. Call the Hotel Whiz right now at 800-710-3739.
If your family's summer style needs a little pick-me-up, you've got to go to Kohl's. They have everything from polos and cute dresses to comfy kids' outfits and Sephora essentials, plus more. Not to mention, you can get 20% off some of your faves and earn Kohl's cash. Yup, summer's already looking more stylish, all thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offer ends July 6th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Richard Holdridge, and Thrift Barringer. Man, I tell you, it's hump day. We are halfway here.
Yeah, I love it. Richard, throw that up a little bit, man. Come on. Mr. Telephone Man.
Uh-oh.
There's something wrong with my line.
You trying to sing a little bit?
Come on.
Oh, my God.
Richard is not very, what do I want to say?
Musically inclined?
Yeah, he's just not a big music guy.
He's
He's ready to pod that thing down as soon as it starts playing. Like, Richard, come on. You got to let a little thing go now.
I know about New Edition. That was when Bobby Brown was with New Edition, but I admit,
you know it? Do you listen?
I listen to New Edition. I love them when Bobby Brown was with them and when Johnny Gill was, and the reunion in 1996 when they had Hit Me Off and
all right, now.
all that. Yeah,
Google's a powerful thing.
All right, now.
When they came back.
Man, I tell you guys are a ton of fun, man. Hey, listen, it's been a great day. We've had an incredible group of guests, man, from Corry Black, Roger Shultz, Curt Crowell, and Jarvis El-Amin. Man, I tell you, we've had a action-packed show, and looking forward to again coming back in the morning. But I tell you, what was your takeaway today? Through we had a lot of information, a lot of information that was shared. And what are you going to take away from today's show?
Jarvis El-Amin, I love his energy, and I'm gonna try to mimic a lot of what he does, and how he carries himself, especially when doing MC stuff. I I want to see him in action, DJ.
Yeah.
You talked about it. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's fun. It's lively. I've seen it on Facebook Live, but it's nothing like seeing it in person.
Absolutely. Rich, how about you?
I was inspired. I would love to hear Jarvis El-Amin, a motivational speaker. It would definitely move me, and it would inspire me to go do something great.
In addition to Jarvis, I think I really enjoyed the fact that Crowell was able to go there without going there. I mean, really, we didn't have any intentions of calling anybody out, but I think some valuable information was brought back up and given to us factually for the people who didn't have the benefit of knowing what went on here in the city with the AAU and all the breakups and with Blazers and all the different individual AAU teams and travel teams and organizations. And right now, just a lot of different people doing a lot of different things. But most importantly, these kids are getting hopefully what they need.
I completely agree with that, DJ. And I think this is awesome that we were able to talk to him, and great job.
Absolutely. Guys, I tell you, man, what's on slate here? I know that, again, it's kind of skimpy right now with Georgia Alabama Sports Live schedule, but you guys still managed to have something on the schedule.
Yeah, so yesterday, Richard, I had to beg him, call him, say I'll even pay for your McDonald's burger to show up at Shirley B. Winston for Night Ballers. So it's adult basketball league that's got professional players in it. It's got hot college players that are still in it. It is a fun time, and great job by Curtis Simpson for the city. Excellent event. Semifinals were yesterday. Richard did a great job on the call. You can rewatch it. And then I'll be there Thursday for the championship. And so
here we go.
Christopher Horton, who's the coach at Shaw, Carl Ivey Jr., coach at Brookstone. They're battling it out with a few other players that play professional. Christian Bradford, Zay Horton going against E.J. Horace, who was a coach at Hardaway, several Columbus State players. I'm telling you, it's a who's who. And it's going to be a packed gymnasium at Shirley B on Thursday. Should be a lot of fun.
Want to shout out Aunt Merritt, who was the man, an announcer on PA announcer on duty. And I understand
he'll be there Thursday.
He had the gym going. Wow.
Yeah, he's going to be there Thursday for sure. And also, don't forget, tune in tonight. We'll have Sitting with an Athletic Director, Morgan Ingram. DJ, I don't know if you know this, the North Side, Morgan Ingram. He's the longest tenured AD in our area. Been there for 18 years.
Wow.
Longest in Muskogee County.
Yes.
Multiple championships under his belt. And I was like, dude, that needs to be talked about, promoted, and you're going to eventually be a Hall of Famer. He's done a great job. You can watch that tonight.
All right, folks. You hear the music. You know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. On behalf of Richard Holdridge, Thrift Barringer, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I try to teach you, but I need some lessons.
You've been listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Out of my mind. You don't need no other body.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99